It's good when you dip it. Don't say it doesn't count.
It doesn't
That's how you
count.
make it better.
You can listen,
any
man.
bread will make
you
it better
can
if you
dip
dip it.
any bread into the au jus. It makes the thing better because they serve the look. The
But
French
it's the
dip
best
is
sandwich for it because it still holds its shape and the flavor.
I understand it is the best sandwich for the ciabatta because ciabatta, that's the only sandwich that makes sense. Like, just dip me in juice.
Man,
make me palatable. But every other bread goes, hey, no, ciabatta. Get in line, homie. They've been serving us.
Man, you could make doggone s'mores with saltines if you wanted to, but you know what? The graham cracker does it
Good.
best.
It does.
So you know what? That's the only use for the damn graham cracker.
But I don't mind graham crackers or saltines on the road. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, in Mike's defense, if you just had one of those little kind of like softer like hoagie rolls that you buy at the store,
Yeah.
would disintegrate in that.
No.
It
Yeah.
depends how long you keep it in there.
I keep mine in for a while.
Well,
man.
that's on you.
Subject, what caught on fire?
I'm sorry, man. You're like a child. Just keep it in there.
That's when,
And when you pull it out, the bread's still in the juice.
What happened?
Yeah, I did it one day after work. Me and Ted were talking in the office, and she called. I thought I hung up, and I didn't. I just went on a rampage. It was so bad.
You just don't do it, man.
It was so bad. Yeah.
Don't do it.
It was another one of those times, like, took a month to get over that one. You know, like anything. Just like, I mean, she's one of those people that, you know, that wasn't easily to forgive you.
Didn't like being talked about on
Oh,
the
man.
phone.
I went off.
But were you responding to a situation?
No, I was frustrated about whatever the hell she was talking about. So I hung up and I just vented with Ted. But I didn't hang up the phone, man. And I mean, it was just F-bomb after F-bomb, and every word in the book. You know, not wanting to go home.
Yeah.
Then I'm
yeah.
like, uh-oh.
That is the worst feeling.
Still there.
Like, oh, no.
Hello? Yeah, oh, no. Hello? No, I'm just joking, man. Yeah, I just came with Ted.
All right.
You got a guy at the NFC championship game, Ted?
Yeah. That in his defense, it did work, but he had the really big.
It did work.
Well, I mean, somebody showed up,
Okay.
but we just looked over, and it just the text message he was saying said, "Want a hump."
Hump. I mean, it's just.
I know. I mean, I think they had already. I think they had thoroughly enjoyed the pregame festivities and a couple adult beverages.
I know, but I feel like most people.
But that's not the word I would use.
That's what I'm saying. Most people, when they get drunk, they get more lewd. You know what I mean? I've
If I
never
said it,
gotten
I would almost
hammered.
think of it as a joke if I was
Yes.
saying it to somebody.
I would say it sober to my wife.
Right.
You want to hump. If I'm drunk and I really want to do that, I promise you, hump is not the word.
But in his defense, the only reason we
worked.
noticed was just because, I mean, the only reason we noticed was just the font was massive.
that big.
Yeah.
You want to hump. But there was a Dunkin' Donuts around the corner. So if I needed to call work, I would call from the Dunkin' Donuts payphone. What I did not know was, and they explained this to me later, they're like, we have caller ID. And the first time apparently I tried to call, they're like, why is Dunkin' Donuts calling? Being opportunistic, they thought it was a sales call, like, hey, maybe there's some promotion they're trying to do. And they're like, and it's your ass, and you're just talking to us like normal. I said, well, sure. They said, well, it comes up Dunkin' Donuts. So then they realized as the months went by, they said they had to tell everyone that works there, hey, if you see Dunkin' Donuts, pick it up. It's just one employee. And I got away with that for like a year. And I never locked my back door. And I remember one morning I wake up and one of my coworkers is walking into my place. He's like, hey, man, the boss is mad at you about whatever, but he needs your ass in there. I'm like, fine. And I don't remember what I was in trouble for. Do not care. But I get up there, get my ass handed to me, blah, blah, blah. So about 4 days goes by, and we have one of these big-ass, like, all-staff meetings. And our boss at the time, Bill Pasha, he did not look at me, but when he walked into the conference room, we're all kind of waiting for him to start. He's already in a bad mood. So he says a couple of things at the top, and he just drops the line of, and you need a phone for us to get a hold of you as a source of employment. And I'm like, I think he's talking to me. And everyone's like, yeah, you're the only person that doesn't have a phone.
My sister, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, they would always go see the National Christmas Tree sometime around the holiday, around Christmas, and then go to this Irish restaurant, right? So look, my niece and nephew are a little bit younger, blah, blah, blah. I guess one of them's throwing up. There's another kid at the thing. So anyhow, so my sister gets absolutely hammered and forgets that my brother is still on this text thread. And this is like 2 days before Christmas. So he obviously have his phone on silent, and he wakes up in the morning, and my sister's calling his house phone. She's like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. So he sees all this, basically like, Christmas you and Mom stay in Maryland, we'll stay in Virginia.
Oh, really? Was that
So
bad?
that one was bad. It took a couple. I mean, I want to say it took like a year because I think even Easter, he was still so pissed. Like, no, you're not coming over. But the worst one was
That wasn't the worst.
was Bernie and his brother. And I will put this lightly. Bernie and his one brother have complete different political views than, say, this other brother, maybe somebody like I do.
Okay.
So they call him from the truck, right? And they need this brother because he works on trucks and everything. And they don't hang up the phone. They left like a 45-minute voicemail, like that guy just said. Just calling him a bitch, saying he's a P word.
Oh, no
I mean,
way.
just think of like some of the worst stuff you'd say to like a family member or a teammate, right? But it's one thing if you're saying it, they kind of get it. But like, I mean, again, I think that took a year or two. The one brother just was like, you guys are like, now, I know what you really think about me.
That is a rough one, dude. And you know me, man. I'm usually not into shooters. It was different with her.
Sure.
Like, do you want one? I'm like, I do. 9 times out of 10, I'm saying no. Even last night at the bar when they brought out the hypodermic Jello shot things. My wife is kicking. My wife enjoys
They got
Jello shots
Jello and a needle?
because it was for the Super Bowl. So my
Well,
wife.
hang on now. It's a giant plastic syringe. There's no needle.
All right.
Oh, no needle, right. But my wife will always ask, because they change the names of the flavors, and it doesn't necessarily give away what it tastes like. So my wife asked this guy, like, whatever the flavor was, and he said, oh, yeah, sure. And keep in mind, she always gets Jello shots. And he turns around with these 2 big-ass syringes, man. And even she was just like, no. I mean, no, that's not. If she's going to do it, look, it's my wife. You know her. She's not going to suck it out of a syringe, man. If you had it in a little cup, I would have. I just only Jello shot 10. I'm surprised you didn't.
And it was Monday night.
So we're both at a bar. We're already in a bar.
I don't know. Even I was like, they were still Seahawks colors. I took a picture with them because they looked awesome, but I was like, I don't know if I'm sucking those
It just
out.
seems so gratuitous.
Sunday, I would have been all about it.
Oh, of course.
Making that thing feel good.
This kid's sitting there with this big ass phone, and basically, you just. It's like an old school one, but you keep it in a central location. That way, when the kids are on the phone, you can hear who they're talking to.
Yep, just like the good old days.
What they're talking about. Doesn't have all the tech on there. There's no apps. It's just, you want to call your friend, find out what their number is.
All right, memorize the number. And
it also rings when people call her. So if her parents want to pick up the phone, she's in the bedroom or in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They can talk to their friend, say, hold on, I'll go get her.
I mean, that used to be what you did. Someone grabbed the phone. I mean, your parents would just yell, somebody answer the damn phone. And you pick up the phone, you say hello. They asked for someone, presumably, who lived in your home. You said, hang on a second. And you went and got them. But like you said, the fact that the phone cord, because there's always one in the kitchen, there might be one somewhere else, but you had to earn the right to get a phone in your bedroom, right? That was the big thing. So through most of your younger days, any conversation you had, you were within earshot. And as a parent, I can tell you, you do eavesdrop to make sure that your kids are on the straight and narrow, right? But how many different codes did you have? Because the thing is, like, I know my parents can hear me. I know they're listening, and I cannot physically see them, but they are sitting in the next room, right? And I have stretched the cord as far as I can. So even though you had a conversation and you're planning a party where there's going to be drugs or there's going to be porn or whatever there is, we had so many different code words where I could have this conversation comfortably. My mother could walk into the kitchen, grab something to eat, and I'm still just talking and Tony, arranging some ass we're going to try to slay that night. But she would have no idea. Well, because everything we're talking, and I'm telling you, talking in code is huge, man.
And now, the men's room legacy continues. Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
Wow! is. And away we go. Welcome to the 21st Amendment season, episode number 4,473. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack.
All right, here we go. A Canadian should have been speeding, or he'd still have his $120,000 worth of drugs. Meanwhile, a jewelry thief escapes on a four-legged walking slug. Man finds his lost prosthetic leg when it washes up on a beach 14 miles away. A woman plans a 70-mile charity run through the mountains, and she's making good headway. And a dog walker in England finds the ideal chew toy out on a stroll with the old pups. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. I don't know if you heard about this, but about 1 million people packed downtown Seattle today for the Seahawks Super Bowl parade. And to say that getting downtown was a challenge, a bit of an understatement. I-5, the light rail, all packed, trust me. But we knew it was going to be this way when we got up this morning. Besides, to celebrate your team's Super Bowl, it's worth the wait. I mean, when you think about it, you already waited 12 years. What's another hour or two? And if you think traffic sucked today, well, guess what? You're right. But it does not compare to the 2010 traffic jam on the China National Highway 110. Why do I bring this up? Because in spite of traffic here, that traffic jam set the record for the longest traffic jam ever because it lasted for 12 days. Now, if you're wondering what the longest traffic jam as far as distance happened to be, that was in India. It stretched 180 miles and it lasted 48 hours. Obviously, nobody wants to be in that situation. So here's a question for you guys. Would you rather be in a 48-hour traffic jam or be on hold for 15 hours and 40 minutes?
Be on hold.
I'm taking the traffic
jam.
Either way, 15 hours, 40 minutes, that is the record for the longest hold time. And believe it or not, the call was from a guy in Australia on Qantas Airways just trying to confirm a flight. Now, depending on layovers, the flight itself, he was going from Adelaide to New York, that's 21 hours. And keep in mind, that includes layovers. The longest direct flight, 18 hours and 40 minutes from New York to Singapore, to which I say, no thanks. But look, here's the thing, all right? Whether you're coming into Seattle today, whether it's booking a flight, whether it's waiting on hold, inevitably, you've had to wait a long time to accomplish something. Or you had to travel a great distance to be where it is that you needed to be. And that's what we're talking about today, inspired by the parade traffic. Our question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, is what is the farthest you have traveled or the longest you've had to wait?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com, and now watch the show live on YouTube at KISW Rock.
KXSW.
Ladies and gentlemen, Britton Berry from Shinedown. Give it up for him. There you go. Now we need a little volume.
Mic check, mic check.
We gotta get
two.
Barry. There
Hello.
we go. There's a Barry action.
There it is. Good to see you
Brent,
guys.
does yours work?
I think it works.
You have to put
There
on
we are.
headphones so you're official. So you can hear the question.
Plus, it makes you look cool.
Yeah,
And
it
you can
does.
hear me breathing
It's like
heavy.
you're in the studio.
Said these guys are rock stars. They don't look cool because they're on radio.
All right, my bad.
Yeah. You know what looks cool? Being up on stage, kicking ass, rocking.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been at this now, man? We've been talking to you guys for like 6 years.
Are they on 10 right now?
Here.
We've
They
interviewed
are.
you.
Oh, the
100
consummate professional.
We've been up for like. I've been up for like
maybe.
15 minutes. I don't even know if they can hear me.
10 years, I think.
10 years. And we met you guys about 6 years ago, man.
Yeah.
It's cool
We
to
haven't
see.
stopped.
Now, one question I do have to ask. Last time you guys were here, we had this discussion. Are you guys still kind of the, what are they called? The character actor of music, where you said you guys would go up and play, and you'd see people react to the songs you're playing going, oh, gee, they're the band that plays this song. And you guys have like 8 of them.
It still happens.
It still
It's
happens.
the full set, though, man. Come on.
Absolutely, it is.
How was it different on the Sound of Madness thing, though, at all? I mean,
Well, yeah, because they were coming, being our tour, they were coming out for that. But yeah, you still get those people that look at you and they go, "Oh, those guys."
do you do the barbecue experience VIP thing, Barry, where you go out and you grill a little food for everybody and kind of get to know the fans?
I only got to do that a couple times on this last run. We were so busy doing everything else, and by the time you get off stage, we were signing autographs afterwards. By the time you get off stage, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You got to get to the next city. So
Right. So
I
you've been
didn't
on
have
the
the
bus.
opportunity as much.
Is it weird for you to sleep in your own bed
Yes,
at home?
absolutely.
I mean, are you looking for like an ice bucket or room service?
I need to get some sort of motor under there to kind of make,
I mean,
make
honestly,
it vibrate so I can fall
it's
asleep.
been like 6-7 years. You guys have been nonstop. I mean, is it just weird kind of to have any downtime at all?
Yeah, it is. I don't know what to do with myself. We get stir crazy if we're off for more than a day or two.
We're already pretty crazy anyway.
Yeah.
Brent, I mean this in the best way possible. I'm looking at you right now, and I think they'll agree. You look like the young version of Ozzy Osbourne.
I get that all the
He
time.
does.
I'm glad I'm not the first. I'm glad I'm not the
At
first.
least you didn't call me Meatloaf.
I just say you look tired.
Yeah.
I look
We
tired.
are. Well, you just woke up.
Well,
I did. You get up for 15
you
minutes.
can say what you want about Meatloaf, but that dude's got some range.
No,
You know,
he's awesome.
he can still do his thing.
What time did you go to bed last night, man? You've been up for about 15, 20
6
minutes.
o'clock in the morning.
Where were you yesterday?
Don't assume last night.
Yesterday.
About 6 o'clock in the
Kennewick.
morning.
Kennewick?
Kennewick, yeah.
Okay. And was that the end of the Sound of Madness, or are you guys done with that, or where are we on that?
That was the end of the Carnival tour.
Okay, that was the end of the Carnival tour.
Yeah, that was it. We filmed it. We're planning on doing a DVD with it, so it was the big end for that tour. But we're not done. We won't be done touring till December 9th.
We're finished in New Orleans on December 9th, and that'll be, as far as the touring cycle for the record, The Sound of Madness, that'll be 2 years and 7 months that we've toured it. Today's show 406
You guys
since
should keep
April
track.
of 2008.
You keep a diary or anything like that, man?
Actually, we don't. Chris
should.
Lightcap, who is our monitor engineer, he pretty much he started back in April of 2008 when we got started touring, and he just pretty much chronicled it all up until right now. And I think today's like 406 of just this record.
Well,
and then we've traveled like something like 270,000 miles.
Have you seen
On this
any of
album?
the footage that the guy has, or are you kind of waiting for the end of the tour to
Well,
see?
he's just written it all down. He's just
writing
logged it all in. I mean, as far as footage, I mean, everybody's going to see that probably before Christmas. We're going to put this DVD out in time for Christmas, hopefully. I mean, we probably have close to 12 hours of footage from the last 2 years of everywhere we've been and just what we've done. All that's, basically B-roll stuff that's, backstage stuff, and just kind of lets people into our world and shows us, shows everybody kind of really what it's like out here for us and how we live our lives.
The last time we talked to you guys, you just got back from Sylvester Stallone's house.
Yes.
And now the movie's out. Have you guys gone to the movie and seen it and seen your song and everything else?
Haven't had a chance.
You haven't. Wait a minute. You're in the biggest goddamn movie in the last 4 weeks in the United States, and you don't even bother to go and see just how cool it might be to have.
I'm excited to see it. We just haven't had the chance, honestly.
It's
It's
badass.
been that crazy. Huh?
I saw it. It's awesome.
Really has.
I know some guys like a bootleg. We can get it right onto your tour bus.
No, I'll pay to see the movie. I don't mind.
Okay. All right, very good. As far as just getting it, you guys have been you've been on a roll for so long, and you look at some of the older bands and how they used to do it in the day, like even the Beatles and bands like that would come out with 2-3 albums even a year.
Right.
Do you feel like you have a time for a 2-month, 3-month break, or is it you just kind of in your flow, the juices? Do you go right back in the studio, or do you give yourself a little bit of time to just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy?
I don't know if you heard before. We've been on the road for like 3 years.
That's what I'm
taking
saying.
a break.
That's what I'm saying. You guys,
I'm tired.
can you give yourself a couple months, man? It doesn't seem like you ever have.
We'll take a couple months before we get in the studio. We all got to go home, be with our families and things like that. So we'll take a small break, but we do have to get back to work. It's been a while since the fans have had a new record, and we definitely have ideas and things we want to do. So
all right, how
we have
much
to
stuff
start.
is in the can right now that you know? I mean, you've got 2 or 3 right now that you could just put out if you wanted to, right?
No.
I mean, as far as the songs that didn't make the albums.
No.
You know?
No, I mean,
No, we don't do it like
Brett and I
that.
don't even ride on the road.
So when you're done and it doesn't make it, you're done with it.
Yeah, we're finished with it.
Okay,
If, like,
all
if,
right.
if it didn't make. The thing is that we don't write records. We did this once before on Us and Them. We really, really rushed that record. A really good friend of mine once told me, he said, "You know what? You'll get your whole life to do your first record, and you're going to get about 6 months to do your second one," and that held true. And the second album, we weren't really happy with it because it was rushed. And The Sound of Madness, we spent close to the better half of 2 years writing it and then demoing it and then ultimately, recording the real record. But there were a lot of songs written. I mean, and the thing is like we're not really into the business of cheating anyone, especially people that respect us and also for some reason really identify with us. So we wouldn't want to put out a product, and we wouldn't want to put out a record that we weren't, we didn't feel strong about. And I mean, we're really just not in. There's no time crunch with us. We're not looking at it like we have to have it out in 3 months or we have to have it out next week. It's like when it's finished, it'll be done, and that's when we'll turn it in.
Well, you say the last show for this particular tour, December 9th, right? So
Right.
you get to that show, you break it out, you have a great time, everyone goes their separate ways, you hang out with family, but
Just for like a month or so, and then we
I was
all
gonna say,
come
in all
back
honesty,
together.
what's
Yeah.
the minimum amount of downtime you think you could have before this party starts coming back out again?
A year, maybe altogether. All of 2011, we'll be writing a record and recording it. So, I mean, I wouldn't see us. I won't see it. Probably 2012 before you see us again, as far as a full-on lineup and us out there with another touring, with another tour that is, with other bands and this and that and the other. I mean, the thing is that when we come back in 2012, we're probably not going to come back like slowly into it. We're just going to come out like full on. And hopefully we'll start out, in arenas again. We just got off this tour, the Carnival of Madness, that we were able to do with, all of our friends. Basically, we got to have the summer with all of our pals and the 5 bands that we were with, this summer. So we're not really looking to come back and it be something that we kind of ease into. We're going to do everything that we have to do in order to, when we do come back out, it'll be the biggest thing that anyone's ever seen.
In the meantime, you're cutting grass, taking out the trash.
I love those
Being
things.
a dad, hanging out, and laying low. Seattle loves you guys, man. We're happy getting to see you. It's going to be a great show today. Guys in Shinedown, Brett and Barry, everybody give it up.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea.
You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hold the Charles, away we go. Welcome to the 21st Amendment season, episode number 4,473. What a large and in charge program we have for you today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Guaranteed future repeats. Who Sucks Less is coming up. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find idiots in the news. You give us 3 stories each and every week. We pit them up against each other to figure out, of the three, which one sucks the least. We have a theme this week. Is it looking better than normal?
I wouldn't say it's looking better than normal. Not necessarily a theme, but people that you would expect to help, maybe not helping. All right, so we have a story that our very own Mike Hawk brought us, I believe, on Monday. Has to do with daycare and laxatives. We have a fire chief who lost his job. He says it's unfair. I would just say maybe don't throw the phones at people in wheelchairs. And finally, we have a volunteer fire department in Pennsylvania that's a little bitter because the city won't let them use their fire hydrants and said just let the building burn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a thing.
Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30. Also, we're only a couple of days away from Live Night as we get Yachty and Naughty at the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Get those tickets now, KISW.com. As you know, we've talked about it plenty. Everything that night is live. You are part of the live studio audience, and we're going to have a good time, man. Get up there in the afternoon, do a little dress rehearsal, and then the show gets underway around 7 o'clock. Get there early and enjoy a little gambling, get some food in you, and join us for Live Night. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, why not? What else are you doing?
It's going to be Yacht Rocky. You can continue the party from today.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and that was kind of the idea and the inspiration. Oh, KISW.com for the tickets. The inspiration for our question. Yesterday, we started reading everything that everyone was providing as far as what to expect for today's parade. The idea that you should not drive downtown, and believe it or not, people listened.
They did, yeah.
As far as I did not see a lot of traffic on the road, but I still planned accordingly, sort of. So my plan was that I am about 4 miles away in Fremont.
Yeah.
It's actually a beautiful walk. You walk along Westlake, you walk along South Lake Union there, and then you kind of just head up Westlake and make it to work here on 5th and Marion. The mistake I made was that I got a coffee at Ladro, an Americano, for my walk, because I just wanted to wake up, and everything else. And I get about halfway down. I get 2 miles into the walk. So, I'm going to light up a cigarette. Still got my coffee. I'm still walking a pretty good clip because once I get going, I walk at a pretty good pace. And then it hits me. And I'm like, oh, no, this is not the feeling I want to feel right now, because this thing is crowning pretty much. You know what I mean? I'm prairie dogging pretty hard. So the last 2 miles was at a much slower pace. Thank God for a lot more of the traffic lights where I could kind of stop, collect myself, and talk myself out of crapping my pants before I got here. But
all in all, for slide back in the hole.
Yeah, but all in all, about 65 to 70-minute walk.
Yeah,
wasn't the worst in the world. Beautiful day, but
that helps.
Had to plan accordingly just to get in here to work. Now, Steve, what time did you leave the house?
We left at 7:50. So understand, my son, he is a Ravens fan, but he wanted to go to the parade. He's born and raised in Seattle. I said, absolutely. He said, but Dad, if I go to the parade, I'll miss school. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. I said, brother, look, you can go to school and make up whatever garbage they're teaching, right? They do that for you. You're not going to get a makeup parade. The Seahawks are not going to throw another parade for you. So go have the experience. I don't care. It's fine. By the way, I should point out, when we got on the light rail this morning, we instantly met up with like 6 or 7 of his fellow classmates.
Oh, cool.
I think the kids estimated that 4 students would actually be in school in his class. I don't know why. But we left. So they came to our house. Then my wife was kind and dropped us all off down at the light rail, because she even told our friend, like, look, don't even try to park at the light rail still. Like, there's going to be a crazy number of people. You're not going to be able to park. So she parked at our place. My wife drops us off. A train was pulling up as we got to the light rail stage, about 8 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I'm thought, run, get up the escalator. I just need to make sure I can get to work. That was my thing.
Yeah.
The train was absolutely packed, which is not a surprise. But the kids, being kids, they kind of like wiggled their way on. Okay, so but at this point, I was going to just let them go, right? Because there were 2 other adults. They were just going to go, and I'm like, whatever, man, I'll get the next train. But the mothers were like, no, man, that's the father of one of the kids, which is true. So a security guard looks at me and smiles and says, okay. And this woman got behind me, put her hands like basically on my shoulder blades, and pushed my ass into the train until the door shut. And then when the door shut, I kind of fell back against them. Getting here was no problem. It was super, super packed. But it's just one of those things. As the train got closer to downtown, every time we stopped at a stop, there's a million more Hawks fans. And they look a little butthurt. They can't fit on the train. So I started telling people, like, dude, my advice, get on the train headed north, go up 3 or 4 stations, and just walk across the platform. Then you'll be able to get on a train. But if you are underground, if you're headed from the north going into downtown,
Now do you have to reticket?
and you're in, no.
Okay, you can just
Once
walk across.
That's
All
why
right.
I was like, guys,
Yeah.
seriously. So because they're trying to figure out a way to get on the train. I'm like, you're not going to fit, and there are no trains coming in the next 4 hours where your ass is going to fit. Seriously, you will save time. Get on the train, head north, walk across the platform, and get on up there. Because I mean, like I said, once you're underground, man, you had zero chance of getting on. And then I got off at Westlake, which was strategic as far as where our work is, and not wanting to cross over Fourth.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the point where basically that train exploded with Hawks fans. It was like a pinata of blue, essentially. They got to Westlake, and I mean, it was unreal. And everyone's just the Seahawks chants going on everywhere. It was cool, man. But I got here at 8:30, and I'm like, okay, I'm here, no problem. I managed to get a lot of work done, but the traffic, at least on the public transportation, was unbelievable, man.
There's only one stop ahead of north of Northgate, which is Linwood.
Two.
Is there two now? All right.
There's two, but still, just for how crowded
I got
it
to Northgate
was.
around the same time. I think he got on one of the
I think
ones
I got
I
one
missed.
before you, yeah.
And then had to walk down.
Should have brought a
the
kid,
platform.
Ted. That was my secret weapon.
But I just couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, where'd you guys all come from?
What time did you get on?
I texted. I think I texted Mike and Taryn at like 7:45 or 7:50. Like I just missed the train.
Oh, yeah.
So I missed two. So I think if he got on at 8, he was on that one. Then I got on the next one. As I was in Pioneer
Okay.
Square by like 8:35, 8:40.
Yeah, like, so once you got on the train, it was fine, right? It rolls along, but you just felt bad for everyone else. Like, because just the look, it was like little kids waiting to open a gift. They just want to get on the train because they're excited. And it's like, you're not getting on, man.
Well, you
No,
knew
there's
it
no
would be
chance.
crowded, but again, in their defense, and the same thing with me, I just was like, it'd be crowded, but I'm like, it's 7:45 as I'm walking up there, like, I'll be fine.
No.
When that thing pulled in and it was shoulder to shoulder, I was like, holy S.
I've seen trains with fewer people during an evacuation. I mean, it was unfreaking real.
But you went down to the stadium.
I did, yeah. My one of my friends, Vanessa, she had hooked us. She was like, I got tickets. So we had sat with them for the NFC Championships. I was like, all right, I'll go meet you guys. Yeah, stadium was awesome.
How many people do you think were in the stadium?
So not nearly as many because it was ticketed and the whole north end was blocked off. They had like the floor open and then the whole north end was blocked off because that's where they had the stage. And I did, Mike, you're gonna have to watch the dump. Be careful today. But it was just awesome to see. Like all the what do you call it? National Guard trucks were down there.
Yeah.
Some of those buses, those double-decker buses, were not down there. Those must have been outside the stadium. And then, credit to Transit, they had the oldest-looking Seattle bus I've ever seen. And when they pulled it off of there, I mean, it looked like it gets stuck there. And then I think it got stuck trying to pull out of the stadium.
Really?
So, like, the whole setup looked badass, but I was like, whoa, this is tough getting stuff out of here.
Right. And did most of the starters get up and say a few words, or just a select group of guys?
Just a select group of guys, but everybody you wanted to hear for. The only one that didn't get up there and shout out to Rabel, he was kind of wrapping it up, and all the players were like, hang on, and Cooper Kupp got up there.
Was he hammered?
Cooper, I don't think he was.
At the YouTube feed, someone was like, man, I'm pretty sure Cooper Kupp was
I know he's
was not okay.
He was
when
wearing a
up
King
there.
Griffey Jr. jersey.
Shout out to him, right? Because he was kind of like, and credit to him, he was like, he's wearing a Mariners jersey, and he's like, I want to make sure I give love to everybody from all these other towns. Like,
Sure.
this is for the whole Northwest.
Because he's from Yakima.
Correct.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Probably knows the Walmart well.
He probably does. I talked to a guy about
He's
that
probably
today.
like, you go there, man.
And he goes, I'm from Yakima. I moved over here years ago. And I said, one of the worst nights of my life.
Yakima.
On my way to Burning Man.
I will say the crowd was cool, man. So we, where the parade went by here, it had been 4th and Marion. So at that point, went out to smoke a cigarette. I didn't have the greatest line of view, but I could see when the vehicles were going by. Just hearing the crowd go ape-ass, I'm like, this is cool, man. But we're
Also-
even saying the players had to even be like, Jesus Christ.
When you
guys.
got on the outskirts, when you got on to fifth, or if you look down to third, there wasn't a lot of foot traffic. I mean, everybody seriously was on fourth, and so it was kind of like a ghost town up here. There was nobody in this building all day.
Nope.
There was nobody at any of the restaurants as far as lunch goes. It was just absolutely a ghost town. It was like you came in.
But there's a million people a block away.
There's a million people downtown, but just everything else was just kind of dead.
Oh yeah.
But thank God people didn't drive in.
We tried to watch most of the stuff, but then frankly, everybody had to go to work.
Yeah.
So then we walked out. We went over. We're like, all right, let's just waste a little time, as that parade was still pretty slow going. But man, by the time I got up to Fifth, I mean, I felt like a salmon going home to spawn. There was just floods of people, and I'm like, "Ooh, excuse me."
Yeah. How about it's kind of hard to put a ballpark estimate, but is anyone talking about the numbers?
I haven't seen a number yet, but
they were flying helicopters up and down the street.
I mean, how do you? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, damn! I got to start again. I'm like, there's a lot. We know that, but I mean, how do you determine the difference between 700,000 people versus 1 million people?
It's got to be something with aerial photos and
I guess,
percentage-wise. I mean, I will say this: that parade started late. They're always going to start late. But remember, in 2014, that thing started 90 minutes late, and it ended down there. So people were just out in the cold. This one, I don't know if it's the weather. It felt bigger. The city's bigger. I mean, I can't go on. I can't say there was 1 million down there, but there was a lot of people.
Well, I would assume you get on there for the Super Bowl. It's a blur. You win the game. That's always a blur too. You finally get back home, and then you do this parade, and I can. When you're playing the game of football, you're really not paying attention to the crowd that much. You're more focused of what you're doing on the field.
Yeah.
That's when you're going to work. That's your job. Yes, you look up in the stands.
Sure.
Like that. But in this instance, I have to think for the players, for the families, for the coaches, for all those people, it might have set in a little bit that they won the Super Bowl and that this city, how much they love that team. When you see something like that
there's no question.
in person, like that's when you go, holy cow, man, we did it.
I mean,
especially
just
for a couple of those guys.
to it was unbelievable. Like, just when the floats went by and just hearing the crowd, I'm like,
you could hear the roar coming up Fourth.
It was unreal.
So every intersection, you could hear the roar, and it's slowly just the roar. It's kind of like the wave.
Yeah, you knew when it was getting there.
And you're right.
Coming up the street.
Especially the defense, they can tell when they're playing at home and it's loud. But to see the look on their faces, honestly, that was the first time in my life I've ever heard. They kept making announcements and be like, players, coaches, report to your vehicle.
Right.
I mean, they were just walking around the stadium talking to people. So you're right. I think it dawned on a lot of it. Not only did they realize it, it's the only time they get to really enjoy it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wave to somebody here, by the way, says they had to extend the parade one block because so many people showed up.
All right.
And this, I'm going to have to go back and watch all of this. We didn't watch any of the televised stuff. It says when John Snyder was talking, looked like someone passed a vape behind him. LOL.
Oh, nice.
Oh, somebody was definitely passing something. I could tell it was a cigar.
Hopefully it was
blunt. And
no.
you saw one of the other players be like, guys.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're up on
come
stage.
Chill out,
yes,
man.
you can, though. Yes, you can. And the other thing about it is that, in my world, the Bellevue other side where the VA is over there, or the VMAC, in Renton, that's a different world. If you live on that side,
correct.
You're relegated to that side unless you work downtown or whatever the deal is. And then of course they come down here for game days. But other than that, I don't know how much time those guys actually spend in downtown Seattle. And to see that many people. And when you're walking up that road, you basically got a bird's eye view of the Space Needle. When time you get to the top of the hill, it's a pretty cool trek. So
right, you have everybody. You have all the season ticket holders.
For sure.
Then you have people that maybe have gone to a game or two, right? Then you have people that just want to see it. You're right. And they're coming from everywhere.
Everywhere.
I saw so many kids.
Oh, yeah.
So many kids.
We were laughing. There was there's no way, is it really, you're not going to give these kids an excuse pass. It's like, what are you going to do? Hold them all back a year? There was so many kids. And good. Look, my brother is a principal. And even he told me yesterday, he was like, oh, I would give my school off.
Yeah.
Come on.
My daughter's school closed.
Yeah.
They said, look, whatever day they announced the parade, that's the day we're going to be closed. So on Monday, we found out, hey, we're closed on Wednesday because you're not going to be here anyway. And like I said, my kid, I don't know about his school, but in his class, there's like 4 or 5 kids. And then the kids he's with on the train, all they're doing is taking selfies of the massive crowd and sending it to the kids in school. It's like, why aren't you here? What are you doing? Because on a day like that, even the teachers aren't really going to give you anything to do because there's nobody there.
Yeah, I mean the guy behind me had flown up from Sacramento. I talked to people, somebody from Orcas Island that had come to, that guy started at 3 a.m. or something.
There's a guy on YouTube, Mad Greek, I believe it is, that he drove from Georgia.
Damn.
To Tacoma to be here for the parade.
Wow. So
Damn.
that's what we're kind of talking about today. We're going to talk about the voyage, whether that was just the time it took to get there one way or another, whether you got delayed or whatever the deal was, or the distance. A lot of you guys are in the military. You've gone a long way around the world. So, or just as long as you've had to wait anywhere for anything. So that's our question today. What is the farthest you've traveled or the longest that you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
In case you missed it on the Daily. Live Night, the livest radio you will ever see. Everything is performed live. Live hosts, live sound effects, live voice actors, live screw-ups, live laughs, and of course, live music. The Daily Mix Show, totally live. The Men's Room, totally live. Live Night returns February 13th. Live Night 2026. Yachty and Naughty. No flares, no lifeboat. All live. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. So just the idea of traffic coming from the south, which, is a pretty normal commute for most people. And it's always backed up in the morning. But they're saying, look, don't be surprised if you get stopped down near the Tacoma Dome.
Yeah.
Don't let that shock you that you're going to be on I-5 for a good amount of time. So I don't know if you know the back roads or whatever, but there are no back roads.
And that's exactly why I don't want to work tomorrow. My job is mobile, so I drive all over the region for work, and I'm not about to deal with that tomorrow.
Honest to God, you should call off. If your job's mobile, I mean, look, I don't care if you drive trucks for a living. Look, tomorrow is not going to be your friend, man. It's just not.
Exactly.
And every agency is posting this stuff. Yeah. It's not just the police, it's the city, it's SDOT, it's everyone. From, the bus people,
Everybody.
the ferry people, they're all putting out
Everybody with common sense understands what's going to happen tomorrow because they expect 1 million people to show up downtown. Do the freaking math, man. I don't care who you are. This one's easy to figure out. So, Catherine, if you drive for a living anyway, how SC is traffic to you on a good day?
Oh, God, it's terrible. And for my company, I'm the only one who works for them in this entire area.
Oh.
So I can go to, Bainbridge Island and then down to Lacey and then up to Edmonds all in one day. And I'm just not wanting to deal with. I don't like dealing with it, period. Traffic's terrible. I feel like I'm always late to appointments. But, tomorrow's really not the day.
What's your worst point A to point B? Like, if you say, I got to go from this place to that place, you're just like, crap.
Well, one time, even though it's not even on this side of the mountains, they made me go to Yakima. I don't know how they justified that, but I'm probably going to call that the worst because that was 2.5 hours.
And
also
you end
had
up
to
in
go
Yakima.
to the peninsula, and that was also like 2.5 hours. So not fun.
Yeah. And then at the end, you're in Yakima.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for all that
Mission
trouble.
accomplished.
Hey, right, I had to do it like last Thursday, right? I had to go to the Department of
post office
Licensing,
thing.
right? Going to find these stuff at the post office.
So how many times did you go north and south dealing with the post office and them telling you need to go here or there?
Linwood, West Seattle, Shoreline, with a stop in Lake
Did you ever
City.
get your drugs?
Yeah, stop in Lake City at the wrong post office.
Oh, jeez.
Did they mail them to your home? No. You found them at the post office?
So that's the whole thing, right? It's a prescription, and they're supposed to show up. But then, like most normal people, I have a job during the day, so I can't get them. So then I tried to call the post office. They never answer. Then I talked to the national number. They're like, well, we can't do. I said, look, you don't have to do anything. And honestly, do less. Just leave it there.
Right.
Then they open at 8:30. I was in line at 8:30. Get in there, it's 8:40. Well, it wouldn't be here. We already sent it back out. I said, well, can you call the driver?
Right.
Like, I mean, he could, like...
Where's he going?
You might have physically put it in his truck, but I bet his truck's still out back.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, it should be at this distribution center. So then I'd kind of just chalked it up to a massive loss and was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I can't really blame the Canada company. They're just like, if they send it back, like, sorry, you're just out of luck.
Sure.
So then... Right,
Sorry,
right? So as I'm leaving, Department of Licensing... Wow, hard to get a hold of them. Shockingly smooth.
Yeah, you said that was like quick in and out.
Yeah, and as I'm walking out of there, then my phone dings, right? Because I kept being like, look, it says it's here. And it's like, it's up north now. So I'm like, all right, I'll go back up there.
And they had it.
Yeah, they had it. So, like, she's driving farther distances, but even just going north to south, back up
But
to
that's
north,
in the middle of everything.
and then driving back down here downtown.
Yeah, traffic's terrible.
I was just like, this sucks. Or, like, Saturday, like, just driving down to Burien, it was just pissing rain, dude.
Yeah.
I-5's backed up. People are driving wild.
I'm telling you, man, you
just white knuckling it. I was just like, I just want to be out of this damn car.
Yeah.
How did your phone do you good, or how did your phone do you dirty? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So my wife and I have a couple of friends, and we go, well, we haven't been in a while, but we try to go to Leavenworth fairly regularly and go, among other things, tubing. And, one of the last times we went, we're like, man, it's always so short. And so our buddy's wife, she was like, well, it's like, hey, you guys, this is later on. Let's go to Leavenworth. I found a different route we can take when we go tubing, and it's longer. We're like, great. So we get on the river, I don't know what time it was. I'll say 2 or 3 o'clock, maybe. And we've got a little bit of booze, and, we're used to this short, like, hour and a half, maybe, if that long, maybe 2 hour float. And we've thought, okay, good, there'll be another hour in this, maybe. Well, I don't know how late we're out there, but we run out of booze, first of all. It's starting to get dark now. We're still floating with no end in sight. We're getting cold because, again, no booze. And so my wife was like, we really didn't know what to do because we didn't really see spots to get out or anything. And so she digs the phone out and takes it out of the Ziploc bag. And she's like, I'll try GPS and see if that works while we're on the river. And somehow she found this spot. And we just kind of floated till we got to the red dot and found this little space to walk through. And we're walking by all these people that have coats on and stuff. And we're in our shorts and carrying our tubes wet. And none of us were speaking to each other. We were mad at each other, but we were completely quiet. No one not saying a word. And luckily, my wife and I had rented a place that had a hot tub, so we all got in that. And it was better after that, but we were nervous for a while.
Well, yeah, man, you're just floating down the river with nowhere to get out. But my question is, all right, so you get out of the river, but how far do you have to walk to get back to either a vehicle or the place you're staying?
We were fairly lucky with that. It probably, if this long, was probably about a 5 or 10 minute walk. Somehow, I guess we were close to the end, and maybe the way we cut through the woods, it got us there quicker. I don't know, but it wasn't too long, thankfully. Maybe I'd say probably about 10 minutes tops.
All right, that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad.
All right.
No, not bad.
Yeah. I do remember coming back from seeing my dad. He was, at the time, living in Lexington, Kentucky. And I go back on the Greyhound bus. There's one point along the route, where I need to get out of the bus, and another bus is going to come and get me.
Yeah.
So I'm switching buses, probably about halfway through the 8 hours that it takes to get there. And at the time, the Greyhound bus station was out in front of a grocery store. Mm-hmm. It was right beside a phone booth, and it was one of those places that had a photo mat booth in the middle,
just sitting in the driveway
of the parking lot, so you could drop off your film, pull up like that. So the bus doesn't come. The driver told me, and I'm like 9, 10.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah, and I've got a bag, I'm by myself on the side of the road, and this, in the middle of this town. And the bus was supposed to come, he said, within 15 minutes to half an hour. It's an hour and a half, and then 2 hours goes by. So I called my mom collect on this payphone.
Yeah.
Because, way before cell phone. So I called my mom collect on the payphone, and I give her the number where I am so she can call me. Because you could call a payphone.
Yeah,
Swear to God.
absolutely.
Had a number on it. You could call the payphone, too. So she's like, all right, well, I'm going to get a hold of Greyhound and find out if I can find out where this bus is. Well, she calls Greyhound and then calls me back and like, look, I talked to the people at Greyhound. They have no idea where the bus is either. I mean, because, again, this is before cell phones.
Yeah.
This is before all that. You can't call the bus. They don't have GPS on the damn thing. You don't know where it is. It's en route somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere. Another hour goes by, and I probably called her 2 or 3 more times because she was ready to get in the car and drive 4.5 hours to pick my ass up.
Sure.
But that phone, man, that was kind of a lifesaver for me not freaking out. She kind of like talked me off the cliff a little bit. The Greyhound bus eventually came. And my mom, I think she was at the Greyhound bus station for like 2 hours waiting for me.
Because she doesn't know either. And
Yeah.
they can't tell her because
Right,
you get no
exactly.
GPS.
You just don't know what the hell's going on. It was, I just remember being, as a kid, it was kind of cool because I felt like I was on an adventure, but I didn't know where I was.
So it's less of an adventure, more of a, I'm going to die out here.
Right. And it was getting dark. I didn't have any place to stay. I'm like, well, probably going to have to sleep under the awning at that Kmart or whatever.
It's going to be a good time to be kidnapped. Look, man, I'm still a proponent of the payphone. I don't even know where you can find one anymore. Maybe a few in the airport or something. But even when cell phones were first introduced, I'm young in my radio career, so my hours, they're just kind of haphazard. They're all over the place. Generally, I knew my schedule, but people started buying cell phones. They just pay me enough. They paid me enough to buy one. I was not going to buy one. Maybe that's the best way to put it. So, but there was a Dunkin' Donuts around the corner. So if I needed to call work, I would call from the Dunkin' Donuts payphone. What I did not know was, and they explained this to me later, they're like, we have caller ID. And the first time apparently I tried to call, they're like, why is Dunkin' Donuts calling? Being opportunistic, they thought it was a sales call, like, hey, maybe there's some promotion they're trying to do. And they're like, and it's your ass, and you're just talking to us like normal. I said, well, sure. They said, well, it comes up Dunkin' Donuts. So then they realized as the months went by, they said they had to tell everyone that works there, hey, if you see Dunkin' Donuts, pick it up. It's just one employee. And I got away with that for like a year. And I never locked my back door. And I remember one morning I wake up and one of my coworkers is walking into my place. He's like, hey, man, the boss is mad at you about whatever, but he needs your ass in there. I'm like, fine. And I don't remember what I was in trouble for. Do not care. But I get up there, get my ass handed to me, blah, blah, blah. So about 4 days goes by, and we have one of these big-ass, like, all-staff meetings. And our boss at the time, Bill Pasha, he did not look at me, but when he walked into the conference room, we're all kind of waiting for him to start. He's already in a bad mood. So he says a couple of things at the top, and he just drops the line of, and you need a phone for us to get a hold of you as a source of employment. And I'm like, I think he's talking to me. And everyone's like, yeah.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Oh, look who just walked in the door. Woo! From the Daily Mix Morning Show. Get up for Tara Daly. Steve Banks.
Yeah!
How you guys feeling?
Whew. This was the greatest day of my life.
I literally, the birth of my son, getting married to my soulmate.
That's two?
And then today.
Oh.
Today was amazing.
Yeah, this was better than all of that. Oh, yeah.
So you guys were on this morning for...
we did the show.
Then you took off?
Took off. We were able to get like media passes. We thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. We get to go in the field. We meet Blitz. We're like, this day can't get any better. Next thing you know, the team's locker room door is open. They're all just hanging out in there. And we were like, what happens if we just walk in? And we hung out with them for like an hour.
Nobody said anything. And we decided if we get kicked out, hey, at least we tried.
Yes,
but we
yes.
never got kicked out. No one questioned.
You didn't say
our
we're from
reasons for
KISW?
being there.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing. No. Like, and we're just in there, and all of a sudden, someone walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I love your jersey." I'm wearing an Ernest Jones jersey, and it just so happened that was Ernest Jones telling me that he loved my. And I go,
Are you
I
kidding
know
me?
what else to say. I'm like, I love it too.
Really?
I got to bro down with Abe Lucas about being Cougs because we're basically the same, you know?
Yeah, basically the same.
Yeah, probably head to the same bars you went to.
Oh, yeah, the Coug. He
Coach
loves
Mike.
the Coug.
I called him Coach Mike. Took a picture with us.
Really?
Dude, it was just great. Cooper Cup.
Was he cool about taking the coach, right? Because everybody wants him,
Well,
right?
Greg, they're riding high. They just won the Super Bowl, so they didn't care.
Everybody said yes. Nobody said no to us.
JSN smiling from ear to ear for what reason? I think we can figure out. But he was just like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you guys. guys.
Did you guys smell any weed back there? Because some of the things, the hits we're getting on YouTube, they said, look, we're watching John Schneider give a speech, but we're distracted because in the background, we're pretty sure they're passing a vape. Ted, you said it could have been a cigarette or a blunt.
Right. You could just see somebody in the background was like, guys.
It wasn't just cigars.
It smelled like Seattle in Seattle.
Okay. All right. Were any of the old school players? Did you see any of those guys?
Like Jim Zorn?
Jim Zorn, Matt Hasselbeck, Marcus Trufant, Richard Sherman.
Cliff Averill.
Cliff Averill as well, Lofa Tatupu. The highlight that you mentioned, John Schneider. At some point, they're getting ready to go off for the parade. I locked eyes with him. He puts his hand in his pocket. He throws
did you
me
get
something.
one?
Yes.
Nice. A little tiny Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Just tossing out baby Jesus.
So now the new song is "Hold Me Closer, Tiny Jesus."
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got tiny Jesus. He'll forever be in my pocket.
Now, were those guys also in the parade? Were they included in that?
Yes.
Were they,
Yeah.
Okay.
They had everybody that's associated with the organization was in the parade.
Miles, I'm pretty sure if we tried hard enough, we might have been able to get on one of those trucks. Like, it was just insane. Like, everybody was just in great spirits.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's right. So I was in the stands. I mean, I was on the front row, but I couldn't get over. I was telling them how many people were down there on the field. I was like, anybody who's like anything, just does anything in Seattle's down there.
Yeah, Matt Hasselbeck was just kind of hanging around, like just walking around with his family. Like, it wasn't like there was no entourage. It was
Right.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
It was
Now,
awesome.
did you guys get any interviews? Do you secure anything?
We weren't really allowed to do that.
Well, I mean, like to ask them to come on your show, like at a later date.
We got shot down by the park rangers, and we figured we should stop asking.
Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were going to ask, but that was the one thing when they said we could get these media passes, like, do not broadcast live from here, and also no interviews. So I'm like, they never say anything about sneaking into a locker room.
But isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to give me a pass on the condition I don't have to work?
And
done.
It was
brother.
fantastic.
Take
It was
that
the
every
best.
time.
How's the inside of the locker room?
It was beautiful.
Is it? We're just walking around.
Huge. Dude, we were a second away from getting to hold the Lombardi and take a picture with it.
Oh, really?
And the handler who had white gloves on, he's like, guys, I can't do it right now. We got to take it out there for the celebration.
Right, sure.
He's like, wait, when we come back, you get a picture then. I'm like, dude, we're never going to make it coming back.
You should have jumped in the locker room, taking a shower.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Just
Even
the
Ernest
towels
Jones
and-
like, hey, man, I'll get your autograph later. We'll meet up. I'm like, what? No.
When?
He's like, you don't have a Sharpie? I'm like, I didn't think I was going to get to meet you.
This
Had
was
I
not the
known.
plan.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Jeez.
Unreal.
It was the best time.
That is insane. How many people do you think were down in the stadium?
Inside?
I mean, it wasn't. They didn't have all the seats like full for. I don't think they filled them all up. What would you say? Maybe like 30.
Yeah, probably at least
30,
that,
40,000 inside of
But
it.
that was a ticketed event, so that's still pretty significant.
And walking there, and Ted, you could attest to it. It was just a sea of people, and all the bootleg T-shirts. I was impressed by how many.
There
people
were a ton. There were a ton when I was walking in.
Impressive. Yeah.
What is the Marilyn Monroe thing? I don't even know that one.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There's
You
bootleg
pointed it out
T-shirts
on the
with-
way back.
The
The
Marilyn
T-shirt with the Marilyn Monroe wearing a Seahawks shirt.
I did not point that out. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It can't be a real shirt because she was dead by that point.
I know.
There's got to be some connection, but I'm saying even I don't know what it is, but I almost bought one.
I do love all the players were rocking the Sam Darnold middle finger cigar shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, these guys love Sam Darnold. And he was freaking cool too.
Of course he was.
Well, and after we saw those shirts, I found them online, and I bought one for Danny and one for Steve and one for me.
$17.99 a piece.
You guys going to start smoking Marlboro Reds in honor of your grandfather,
Obviously.
Dick Hammer?
Dick Hammer?
Yeah.
That's my
Did you
dude.
ask him about Mr. Hammer?
I did not.
Okay.
Did Brad smoke one? Your husband?
I don't know.
He was part of that agreement in October.
He was going to smoke a Marb Red?
Yeah, for Dick Hammer.
Holy cow. I'm not sure if he did.
Now, he gave up cigarettes, so that might be a different ball
Dick
game.
Hammer.
I'll have to see if he
I
held
smoked
up
two.
his
and
end.
The rest of the pack.
So did you guys just stay in the locker room as long as you could before you got kicked
Correct.
out?
We walked out with the team out of the tunnel. I mean, literally, we're right behind them. So everyone's cheering.
Was there any other media people in there?
No.
It was just you guys?
We weren't supposed to be in there.
You're not even media.
Dude, only people in there, I swear to God, were the players and their families.
I will show you the
And
video.
us.
I took a video of us walking out behind the players as if we are part of the entourage, which we were not.
That's
It was
awesome.
great.
Everybody I went with, as soon as you guys started posting, they're like, dude. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask.
We still don't know. I mean, I walked in with like a Starbucks cup in my hand. I felt like that gave me like this like aura of chill.
It does. Nobody wants to mess with a guy with a latte in his hand.
This is just a reminder to act as if. Act
That's
as if. If you walk up with your chin held high, your chest puffed
right.
out with confidence, No one's gonna.
You two can
question
hang
you.
out
No,
with
no
the
one
Seahawks.
asked. No one asked where you were from. No one asked.
And from look at
anything
you.
about
all of us,
you.
and then there's Danny also with a cup of coffee and a half-eaten bag of Doritos, like in the locker room. He's like,
"Where do you get the Doritos?"
I think from the media thing. I don't even know.
And there's so many smoking hot players' wives in there, and then there's me. Like I'm clearly not married to anyone in that locker room. Very clearly.
I kept pretending that I'm part of Ernest Jones' family since I was wearing his jersey. You know, we look identical.
Some of the, as they would call them, wags, wives and girlfriends. But even from my view, we were like, holy yes.
Were you? Was he shocked that you were wearing his jersey?
He came right up to me, just was like fired up that I had the jersey on, and we just had like this real heartfelt conversation about like faith and other things. And
You got a baby
just-
Jesus.
it was a great moment, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, that's where it ends. Can I get on the? Yeah, it was just crazy.
Now,
Can I ride on your float?
Now, were people getting tuned up? Was there Bud Lights back there, or did they have drinks? with the players, or-
Ernest had my friend Ernest. He had. I don't even know what it was.
giant
but
fancy bottle.
It looked like a very expensive bottle of booze that he was just walking around.
Was
with.
it open? Gold?
I wanted to get a swig out
Just
of it.
can I get a pull of that, brother?
I should have asked that.
Yeah,
I was like,
serious, yeah. That'd be the
I don't
first
have a
thing I'd have to-
Sharpie, but can I drink your drink?
I don't know you, but can I have a little
Was
of
it
that?
gold?
It was black.
black.
It looked like
All right.
it looked like a scepter.
Somebody had like the Ace of Spades champagne bottle, that giant gold one.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the only one with whatever this expensive elixir was.
Now, did you guys pile into a bar afterward or anything?
We went beforehand. We went into Gantry's Public House and
Yeah.
had a sex on the beach, which none of us had one of those before.
How was it?
You've never had sex on the beach?
Fine. It was very fruity. I don't think I would drink more than two at one. In one
and then we
sitting.
We ordered sex on the beach.
It's a long story.
Well, then we
Anyway,
got time.
then afterwards,
We met someone. It was their 21st birthday in Yelm, and the first drink that they decided to have, she had was sex on the beach. So we talked about it on the air. We were just like, none of us ever had a sex on the beach, so that was our goal. Not
sex on
realizing
the
we'd have
beach.
it before we even had breakfast.
we also basically shotgunned a White Claw in the alley, and then
Shout
we
out
went to the
Rocky.
hall.
Yeah, this guy Rocky had White Claws in his backpack and just hit.
Did you draw straws to see who would order that? So you wouldn't look
Danny.
like
Danny did.
Oh, he did,
Yeah.
And then we finished at the hall on Occidental, and that was a whole vibe. Everybody was eating chicken wings.
We met Wilson the pony. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that pony's still alive?
12thpony.com.
I met that pony in 2014.
Yes.
And that pony loves taking selfies. So I tried to take a selfie with it, and it just shoved its face into my camera.
Who the hell is
It's a
this
little
pony?
small. I've told
It's
you
like
about
a
this
Shetland
before,
pony.
but the colors of the hair are blue and green.
And
I've talked about this for years. I can't believe he's still around.
It even had its hooves painted
look at it.
in glitter. Had a very nice
Like,
pedicure.
the handler's like a blonde woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, same pony.
Say
Yes, it was a whole day, a full day.
You're more excited about that than any of the players I mentioned.
Well, I didn't meet the players. I met that pony before.
We thought this was going to be the highlight of our day. Meeting the pony.
I cannot believe you got snuck in.
I know.
I mean, did we sneak in?
No, you walked in.
Yeah, you kind of. Yeah, we just walked in.
You walked in.
And now we're friends with Ernest Jones, so we're gonna do it again next year.
Wow.
And John Schneider threw me a little tiny Jesus.
Little baby Jesus.
Did you get a chance to talk to John Schneider at all?
No, he walked right by. I just locked eyes.
He
and
just
said,
took
"Give me
his
one."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he talk? He just gave me some
Well, he
Jesus.
threw one on to Mike McDonald because he was in like the car behind them, and it landed on the roof. And I was tempted to just jump on. I'm like, but these military people, I felt like that would be weird if I just jumped on the roof to grab a little Jesus to steal the Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
Why did Steve get tased?
And I said, you know what? I'll just lock eyes with John Schneider. Maybe he'll throw one to me. And he did.
I'm gonna try that now.
I got
If I ever see him, I'm gonna lock eyes and wait for my Jesus.
Well, at first we thought he was throwing out Tootsie Rolls. I'm like, how many Tootsie Rolls does this guy have in his pocket?
Snacks.
I got I played in a golf tournament and then went to my buddy's bar. And this is right when they hired Mike McDonald. And so John Schneider's sitting in there, and I walk to the bathroom and I look at him, and he's got like a spreadsheet out, like he's working. But I'm like, you guys just hired our defensive coordinator. He just thumbs up. He's like, this is going to be good. And I was like, no, it's not. You just took our defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's going to be the man. I'm like, I know he's the man. Like the Ravens have a good defense, you know.
That's
and he's
why
like,
we did.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we
that's the
have
only
one.
conversation
Yes.
I've ever had with a guy. Was that? And I was like, damn you, man. Like I wanted to flip him off. Like I cannot believe
That's why you didn't get a Jesus.
he just took our defensive coordinator. You son of a. Exactly.
That's so great. Dude, I had a
Now we're
moment of
here
almost
today.
being embarrassed, though. They were doing the whole speeches, and John Schneider was talking about how, like, you know, this is a team full of, like, people who dealt with tragedies. And he was listing everybody whose father passed away in the last year. So he's listening, and I almost yelled, "My dad died too!" I was like, wait a second, this is not the time to be like, "Oh,
Save it, Ted, on the way. All right.
we all lost our dad."
Sean's dad died last year. We had the same conversation. It's been like 3 years for me, so I couldn't bring it up.
But it was like he kept the way he was saying it. It was like it was triumphant. Like
There was
I know
angels.
Right. So I wanted to be a part of that. I'm like, dude, my dad died as well. Let's go Hawks.
Hell yeah. Go Hawks.
How long did it take you to cut through to walk down?
It wasn't bad on the way. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad on the way back either.
No, it's just like what 10, 15 minutes. Like
but the
what it would
cars,
usually take. Yeah.
people that were in cars looked like they weren't moving very
So
fast.
were you able to actually get out of the stadium and then watch any of the parade at all?
We watched it from the TVs
bar.
at the hall on Occidental.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Looked fantastic. King 5 did a great job.
You guys working tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, speaking of King 5, some people brought up Wilson the pony. Someone says, I saw Wilson on TV today. So cute. I saw the pony on the King 5 stream.
Yes.
People are loving Wilson.
12thpony.com.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I brought it up a couple of weeks ago. People were like, oh, yeah, man. But I just didn't think that pony was still around.
Oh, he's still around, Ted.
She told us that pony has been to the players' houses for birthday parties.
Are you kidding me?
The kids love him.
Okay. The Seahawk that loved the pony the most, oddly enough, was Russell Wilson.
No Russell Wilson sightings?
No.
Okay. Did you what was your line when you're like walking in? There's Sam Darnold. I gotta think of something to say. Like what are you saying when you're walking up to these guys who don't know you? And you're not part of the family or anything.
You know, it was more just like, hey, man, mind a picture? And then, like, introduce yourself and then grab the picture. Although I did, the Coach Mike, I didn't want to say Mike, but Coach Mike, can I get a picture with you? He's like, yeah. And as I'm taking a picture, I awkwardly go, thank you so much for what you did for us. And I'm like, wait
What's
a
wrong
second.
with that?
I don't know. It felt kind of dorky.
It was.
I mean,
Yeah.
but he just seems like a straight down the line guy.
sincere, but it is dorky.
How about you, Taryn? What did you
Well,
say? Is it all just selfies with you guys? Can I get a selfie? Can I get
Our
a
phone
picture?
screener
Introduce
Dayton
first and then
got a
selfie,
great
yeah.
video of me, a candid video of me talking to Cooper Kupp, in which I am like overly animated, like, hi, it's so nice to meet you, blah, 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 being crazy. And he looks as chill as could be, probably like, get this psycho
I've
woman
already
out
got
of my
two of
face.
these women. It's okay. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. No, but just, they were all insanely nice. It was such a fun vibe.
Did you talk about some of your favorite places to go in Yakima?
No.
'Cause
The
there aren't
armpit,
any.
well, you go to Miners, obviously. That's where you go get a burger is at Miners.
Yep, yep.
Everybody knows that.
What a cool morning, though.
Unreal. Yeah, and like, dude, the once you asked for one person to take a picture with and he said yes, you're like, I think they'll all say yes. And then it was just like, all bets were off. Just walking up to them all, just saying hi and taking pictures.
They're on top of the world, man.
There's never a better time to ask them.
You know, you want a Super Bowl, then on top of that, on this day, it's like, hey, guys, I know you're still excited about the Super Bowl. Well, when you leave the stadium, there are 1 million people waiting to say thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
that's badass, right?
Does it seem like it has set in for those guys? Are they kind of floating, or
I
is
think
it still...
this might have been the moment where it set in. Honestly, I think the parade might have, if anybody was still waiting for that moment, I think today solidified it.
Like when the Super Bowl week is a blur.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing all that crap down there, and then you play the game real quick, and then before you know it, you know what I mean, you fly home, you see your family, you see your friends, and all that stuff. But it takes a while for those kind of events, I would think, just to register in your head that you've done it.
Yeah.
And to realize how many fans and how many people love you made happy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What you did to a city.
And they haven't even had quiet moments yet. You know
No.
what I mean? Like, I think those quiet moments are when things are really going to register.
But I think there's two things for them to get over. You know, one, you got to let the fact that you won the Super Bowl sink in, right? So today is the day I would think that it sinks in, but then it's probably going to take another 2 days for it to sink in that 1 million freaking people line the street of a city to say, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I
there
mean,
was a cool moment in the locker room. I don't know if you noticed. There was a few players that were just sitting at their locker room stall, just BSing with each other. And I'm thinking, like, for those guys, this might be the last time they're going to get to do that.
maybe, yeah.
You know, and they got to do it on a high note, of course. But still, like, next season,
you don't know.
You,
And all
you
those
just don't know.
All those lockers have been cleaned out for weeks.
Yeah.
Since the NFC Championship game. So they don't have any of their helmets in there, any of that stuff. It's just,
Right.
it's just completely
Just the booze.
Yeah.
And
just-
baby Jesuses.
Baby Jesuses, a fancy elixir of some sort, and 3 knuckleheads on the radio acting like we belong.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
we did it right.
Hey, that's the best story of a long time. Huh?
I don't think I'll ever be able to top that. I mean, being such a big fan of the team.
Yeah, Ted's
getting to
like,
see them-
how did they do that? I'm like, I don't
just was
know.
like, that is ridiculous.
It was right place, right time.
How did they get in there? Like,
we
I don't
kept
know.
waiting for somebody to be like, you guys need to leave.
Right.
And we left with them.
That's when you had to go.
Yeah.
And they met Wilson, Ted.
Yeah. Well, I met a lot of
Hey,
people
sounds like
down
they had
at
a much better day
King
than you did.
A lot of the cops said, Ted liked the show. They said, where you
Cops?
going? I said, back to frickin' work.
Look at you, company man.
Oh, yeah.
Trooper. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you guys had an awesome day.
dude,
That's
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Go
Amazing.
Hawks.
Amazing. Our question, what is the farthest you've traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
Get your
You're the only person that doesn't have a phone. I got a cell phone, and I've hated it ever since. But one of the nice things about not having a phone, see, is like when they were mad at me, they couldn't like call me at work. They physically had to send someone to my place to wake me up to tell me, hey, you need to get to work so that they can yell at you. I'm like, yeah, all right. But like if I had my phone, I would have had a horrible time at home. So at least any time that I had a stressful situation, it was a word.
Have you seen the new landline design phones that are for kids?
Yes.
They have them in Seattle. So I read this article about this woman who got her kid, like probably 6, 7 years old, a landline cell phone. It does hook up to your Wi-Fi.
Right.
But it acts just like a regular phone.
Is this rotary or is it a push button?
It's a push button.
Okay.
But you need to know your friend's number. And I believe she keeps the phone in the living room. And she woke up one morning, I believe the story said, and her daughter was having a conversation about some book or show or something like that with her friend. But, I guess it brings some solace. She had to teach kid how to use the phone. Kid already knew how to use a cell phone.
Right.
Very efficient with it. But now, this kid's sitting there with this big-ass phone, and basically, it's like an old school one, but you keep it in a central location. That way, when the kids are on the phone, you can hear who they're talking to.
Yep, just like the good old days.
What they're talking about. Doesn't have all the tech on there. There's no apps. It's just, you want to call your friend, find out what their number is.
All right, memorize the number. And
it also rings when people call her. So if her parents want to pick up the phone, she's in the bedroom or in the bathroom, they can talk to their friend, say, hold on, I'll go get her.
I mean, that used to be what you did. Someone grabbed the phone. I mean, your parents would just yell, somebody answer the damn phone. And you pick up the phone, you say hello. They asked for someone, presumably, who lived in your home. You said, hang on a second. And you went and got them. But like you said, the fact that the phone cord, because there's always one in the kitchen, there might be one somewhere else, but you had to earn the right to get a phone in your bedroom, right? That was a big thing. So through most of your younger days, any conversation you had, you were within earshot. And as a parent, I can tell you, you do eavesdrop to make sure that your kids are on the straight and narrow, right? But how many different codes did you have? Because the thing is, like, I know my parents can hear me. I know they're listening in. I cannot physically see them, but they are sitting in the next room, right? And I have stretched the cord as far as I can. So even though you had a conversation and you're planning a party where there's going to be drugs or there's going to be porn or whatever there is, we had so many different code words where I could have this conversation comfortably. My mother could walk into the kitchen, grab something to eat, and I'm still just talking and Tony, arranging some ass we're going to try to slay that night. But she would have no idea. Well, because everything we're talking, and I'm telling you, talking in code is huge, man.
And growing up, this was even before call waiting. So if someone was on the phone, they would be able to hear a beep beep, and they would go, hold on for a minute, I'm going to check this other line real quick. Then I got a call coming in. Before that, it was just a busy signal. Period. And so my buddy Pat had 2 older sisters. You could never ever get through on that phone. You had to physically walk down to his house, which was almost a mile, to get his ass. If you guys it's one of those deals where you got 3 people, but you really just want to play 2-on-2 basketball. So now you got to walk all the way down and get Pat's ass.
Hope he's home
because you can't get through the phone.
Right.
Our question: how did your phone do you good, or how did your phone do you dirty? 206-803-ROCK.
Basically, I did a little, read the synopsis of it, and basically what it was is in the early stages of life, kids need a lot of love and affection. They need a lot of comfort. They need a lot of attention, much like a dog would. Right there in your face. We're right here. Whatever you need, we're right here.
Oh, yes.
As they get older and kids start to require more independence, and they might not know it for themselves, but they require more independence to learn who they are, taking a more standoffish, passive approach and just kind of letting them be themselves, give them some space.
So unless they get it your damn self, I'm actually doing the right thing.
You are correct.
All right.
You know what? As mean as it sounds, you are correct.
You can do that.
Right. I related to when I went into Boy Scouts. I was a mama's boy. I was a parent's child, as it were. And the first time I went on a camp out that neither of my parents were on, I had a complete and total meltdown. I was terrified. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't got my parents out there.
Sure.
This is the one time that my dad lied to me. He was like, I will be there. Where are you guys going? Okay, I'll be there in the morning. I just got to work tonight. I'll be there in the morning. He never freaking showed up.
Of course not.
But then I was on my own from that moment on.
And you're fine, right?
Yeah.
Once you realize you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah. Still, rely on him for a lot of stuff. New Bionic sneakers have been developed and are being hailed as an e-bike for your feet.
Bionic sneakers.
What does the Bionic sneaker do?
Adds just a little bit. It makes it easier. Like I said, it's an e-bike for your feet. So the way that they looked, they kind of strapped on your ankles. So I think it takes pressure off some of your muscles, and it helps the movement. I don't know, but it makes it easier. You know what I mean?
I just looked up a picture. It seems like a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to describe.
Interesting.
I don't know how to describe it. I also don't know if I support it. You know, as you get older, or maybe you have disabilities, or something to where you need
Then
that
you go,
extra leg.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But average Joe, for the 4 people in this room, like,
No.
We don't need anything to make us lazy.
Right, just wear your shoes. Just wear your shoes.
Walk.
I know. What did I say to you earlier today? I go and function over fashion tomorrow for the parade. Definitely wearing my Hokas.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Everyone should. You should wear the shoes you walk in the best tomorrow.
Right.
You're going to be walking everywhere downtown.
That's right. Comfortable in distance. Scientists have found a way to track water as it moves around the planet.
Okay.
I don't know what we're going to use that for, but I got to imagine that knowing where the water is going and how it gets there and all that, that's got to be...
You're looking at currents and how they shift and affect weather. That's NOAA stuff.
But I thought that's what they were doing. They were tracking currents like that. What were you guys doing before if was not the information you were getting with tracking currents?
That's typically why if you, throw a bottle in the ocean in Ireland, theoretically it'll end up in Puerto Rico. So just think of how Columbus sailed and all those guys. It comes down that way. And there was a shift last year in that current, which is a circular motion in the northern hemisphere of the Atlantic. And it kind of just stopped. And people were like, what in the hell is going on? Because those currents carry all the fish, they carry all the, all the...
And it just went still.
It just went still.
Damn.
Which is a little weird, because it's like hitting a dead spot in the Pacific or whatever.
Doldrums, right?
Yeah. Put your thinking caps on, gents. Time for the Merriam-Webster word of the day. 60% chance of success on this one. It is a verb brought to you by the letter B. And to do this, to do this is to cause harm or damage something. Mainly used in somebody's name, somebody's honor, but to do this to the reputation of this.
Belittle.
Belittled? No, not quite. You got
besmirch.
There it is.
For real?
Besmirch, yes.
Oh, besmirch.
2 for 2 this week, Steve.
You need to besmirch, man. What's smirch?
You are not smirch enough. You need to besmirch.
Maybe we should sell some Beast merch.
Oh.
Right?
Beast merch.
We got Beast merch. Don't besmirch the Beast merch.
I'm pretty sure he's already got Beast merch.
I'm sure he does.
Got his logo and everything. There's a man claiming that he quote-unquote solved the Bermuda Triangle.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm not even dignifying it by reading
it, brother. Yeah,
right. It's a weird technical anomaly. That's about it. There's no weird void in there. There's no parallel universe or nothing. It's just
my dad's job in the Navy. They would fly from Newfoundland, Canada. It was a 13-hour round trip to see if they would disappear in the Bermuda Triangle, because it was big at that time, right? But maintain radio communication. So my father was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. There's like 8 of us on the plane. We never wanted to be successful. It's like, because at that time, the Bermuda Triangle was just a scary thing.
Sure.
And it's like, and we had to fly through it.
Right.
And they were hoping we'd disappear, but maintain radio contact. It's like, we did not want to disappear.
No.
He did point out, though, he goes, if anything went wrong with the plane, we always hoped it happened over Bermuda, because we'd have to parachute out, but it would take about 2 weeks to recover.
Now you're just 2 weeks in Bermuda.
I'm in Newfoundland, Canada, or I can spend 2 weeks in Bermuda. He's like, yeah, man, trust me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they almost wanted to sabotage the plane. He's
Send the boats.
2 weeks, damn. Oh, yeah.
So they were just doing, you remember the movie Contact? That was kind of the same premise. What was going on there?
Yeah, basically.
Dropped into that wormhole.
See what happens. Keep doing it over and over. And he's like, it was a daily thing. It's a military, so it's just repetitive. But he's like, it was a 13-hour flight every freaking day. And remember, the goal was for us to disappear. He's like, I'm happy we were unsuccessful.
Whiz. According to a new study, electric cars are making it easier to breathe.
Who paid for this?
Here we go.
Who paid for this?
Musk.
That's the point of the electric cars, to cut down on emissions. Right. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to figure out.
What do you know? Less emissions make cleaner air out here.
I'll be damned.
How about that? What was it during the pandemic when nobody was driving? What do you know?
Yeah, their quality went up.
Yeah. Shocker.
Who knew?
Dietitians are calling for more oversight on GLP-1 medications after some patients are developing scurvy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
So the thing is about it, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure GLP-1 medications curb your appetite.
Sure.
More than they help the process of what your stomach's actually doing, you don't feel like eating. You don't. In fact, there are some folks where certain foods they almost are repulsive to you.
Oh, really?
So, folks are already malnourished. Like that's why people are losing a crap ton of weight on this. It's not like it's doing anything to your systems. You're just not eating. So, unfortunately, that includes essential nutrients that keep scurvy at bay. It's making a resurgence.
Why don't they put that in the side effects? You know, tell you about thoughts of this, blah blah blah.
Because
blah,
it is
blah,
not
blah,
a side
blah.
effect of it. It is a side effect of the side effect.
Side effect.
Because the side effect is that you don't want to eat anymore, you don't
so
eat
that's
anymore, and then you're getting scurvy.
So it's what you'd call in the corporate world a third-party symptom.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, it's third party.
That's exactly right.
Sorry, you got scurvy.
Yeah.
Scurvy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Measles, scurvy. What else can we? How about some black plague? Jesus, God,
Run it back.
Spanish flu. What else can we
Run it
do?
back. What can we get done?
Anybody want polio? We're handing it all out now.
Just take a hot second before you put something in your body, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hang around the rosy.
But you know what? Some people saw that coming. When a lot of these medications were coming out, they obviously had their own uses. They had their own intentions, and other people were using them for things beyond what they were designed for.
Sure.
And some people looked at it and said, that's probably a bad idea. And that sometimes we hate being right. In fact, there's a lot of different instances where people just hate being right.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
So I thought, what are other things that people could possibly just know what's coming? You can see the future. You can see it happening. And regardless, people just fire directly off into it without even considering anything whatsoever. So these are the times that we just hate being right. The things that we hate being right about. Number 10 on the list, they go with your own bad habits. Knowing exactly why you're failing at something. Procrastinating, not exercising, but you still do it anyway.
Sure.
You know, and at the end of the day, those aren't the worst. That's why it's the bottom of the list. It's the vices that, there's a reason why we call them vices. It's because, yeah, we know we're not supposed to do it. Yeah, I know it's bad for me, but the good that I feel from it is worth the bad that I feel.
That's
later.
it.
So.
Reporter Jen Mueller was on the program last week, and we asked her if the Seahawks win this thing, will you come back on and tell us the rest of your experience?
Yeah.
Because we talked to her on, I believe, Friday afternoon.
Thursday or Friday?
Thursday or Friday, but either way, we're going to try to get Jen back on around 4 o'clock. Here's the deal. There's so many people downtown using the Wi-Fi and everything else. We're going to try to get a signal with her if we can. So hopefully we'll have Jen coming up at 4 o'clock. Our question, what is the farthest you traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Beezus. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
God, I love you guys.
No, we
thank you too, man. Thank you.
Real quick, what's the best way to listen to you guys for the best rating? On the Odyssey app, on FM radio, or YouTube?
I think it's all the same, to be honest with
Just
you,
depends on how you want to digest it. If you're at home, man, put us up on your big TV and do it that way.
I listen to you every day, so whichever way gives you guys the best rating, that's the way I'm going to listen. So,
well, appreciate that. Hey, here's another thing. As far as the app, it does not work out of the United States. Obviously, the FM signal is always going to push as far as it does. So if you are out of the country, if you are in Canada, if you are somewhere else, you can always check out the show on YouTube.
Yep, that's a good point.
So,
good to know. Because I'm just kind of right outside of FM range, but I can still listen to you on the radio if that's better.
Where are you living?
Elma, Washington, about 100 miles away.
Okay. I picked this up, believe it or not, from Astoria, Oregon, all the way down to Cannon Beach.
Damn.
I don't know how the hell the signal bounces off the water like that.
I don't know.
It's pretty amazing.
Hey, right on. Hey, as long as everybody gets to hear you guys, because you guys are awesome.
Well, thank you, man.
So first of all, that's awesome about Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs getting into the locker room. That is so cool.
Yeah.
It turns out sometimes just to be there, you literally just show up, and that's their whole story.
Act like you belong.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. So in 2005, just out of F's and giggles, me and three buddies, we pick up season tickets to the Seahawks because they were $24 a ticket.
Damn. Okay.
So we pick it up in 05. I mean,
That makes sense for the Trent Dilfer years.
Yeah, the year we went to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, it was a perfect year to pick up season tickets. So I think it was the NFC Championship game against the Panthers. So it went in, I want to say it went into overtime. We ended up beating them. So it was a long, long game, and it started snowing like crazy. And so we get out of there. It was about, I want to say 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And it just starts dumping snow. And we're on our way home. And like I said, so I'm about 100 miles away. So about 5 hours, and it was my turn to drive home. So my buddies and all my buddies were double fisting the whole game, so they're 3 sheets to the wind. One buddy's passed out in the passenger seat. We're about 5 hours into the drive home, and the buddy in the back's like, I gotta pee. And I'm like, I am not pulling over. Like we're 5 hours in, we still got about 3-4 hours to go. I was like, I am not pulling over. And he's like, I gotta pee. And I was like, this is straight up out of the movie Dumb and Dumber. And I'm like, grab a bottle. I'm like, I'm not pulling over. And he's like, there's no bottle back here. So I'm like, well, at this point we're doing like 3 miles an hour. And I'm like, I told him, get out, go grab one out of the trunk. I was like, I'm not stopping. So he gets out, and I'm still driving down the middle of I-5. He grabs a bottle out of the trunk, and at this point, people are seeing us, knowing what's going on. They're all seeing the bottle, because they've all been stuck in traffic for 5 hours with the rest of us. And he's straight up. I'm like, you're going in the bottle, and he starts filling it up, and it's just like Dumb and Dumber. He starts getting to the top, and he's like, I'm almost to the top, and I'm still going. And I'm like, he's like, I can't stop once I start. It stings. And I'm like, it's gonna really sting when you find.
Just pinch it.
I tell my sister, you pissed all over the back of her car. So he fills that bottle all the way to the top, and then when he goes to dump it out of the window, you can see the steam. It's very obvious what's going on. Everybody starts hitting their hazards, their flashers, they're honking, flashing their headlights. Whoa!
Well,
when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, it's the truth of it, man. Like you said, you're going 3 miles an hour. Ends up being a 9-hour drive to go 100 miles. No thanks.
I know you've done long drives with your parents.
Yeah.
But I did 24 hours straight from West Virginia to Key West.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of pee in a bottle, too. I've also done the drive straight to New Orleans, not nearly as far. Sure. The thing about Key West is you don't realize how big Florida is. We were probably on the road for 13, 14 hours or so.
Yeah.
So, you get to the Jacksonville area, and there's the sign, welcome to Florida.
And you feel better.
We're high-fiving, man. We're like, this is awesome. We made it. And now you realize that you've got another 10 to 12 more hours to go. So it was quite the haul. But when we got there.
It's still better doing that trip with a group of buddies than sitting in the back seat as a kid.
Dude, because you can't say anything as a kid, right? Because the same thing would happen in Texas. We went to Texas where we started from the east, but we were driving straight through. And the east side of Texas to the west side of Texas might as well be like 18 different countries, right? I mean, it takes forever. And as a kid, you want to pipe up and say something because you're losing your mind. But my dad, he would just give you the look in the rearview mirror. Like, I hate it. Your mom hates it. Your brother hates it. Say something, I'll kill you. It was just understood. So the car was it's like eerily quiet, but everyone's unhappy. But all I can think is like, this is your idea. Mm-hmm. We said buy plane tickets, man. I've made it clear I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. And now just the silent threat of death, I can't even say anything.
That was my parents' rule. If they were going someplace that was too far away, they would fly.
Sure.
But if the kids were going anywhere with us, with the whole family together, it was always driving. And they would push the boundaries on that. Like Daytona or Orlando or wherever a vacation was, we would always have to drive. And also we'd have to pack sandwiches and have a cooler.
Sure.
Like, I'm passing all these cool fast food restaurants that I've never been to before. I'm like, I want to go there and get a hamburger. Like, no, we got PB&J's in the back.
I'm not even kidding when I say this now. Now that I'm thinking back, I don't know that I've been on a flight with my parents at an age record. I know when I was like 2, I was, because my mother tells me a story, but I was like 2, right? But since I'm just thinking back, because you just brought that up, and I'm like, yeah, we did that, but certainly we flew somewhere together, right? We didn't, man.
Bahamas, maybe?
No. No, my brother and I flew down. They did not go with us.
All right.
And they did other things while we were gone. God damn. That never really registered until right now. Like, I'm pretty sure I have never been on a plane with I've been to the airport to pick people up. They have dropped me off at the airport, but I don't think I've ever been on a flight.
I'm with you.
With my parents.
I went on a plane ride with my dad and brother.
Yeah.
When I was like in 7th grade to go watch Maryland play Florida State, but
I was in the car.
For some reason, it was like a general rule of all families.
Well, I mean, I traveled everywhere with them. I've been to a lot of places with my parents, and now I'm thinking back, not one time was I
we also
ever
never
on a plane.
left. We basically never left the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah.
We would drive up to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, down to the Carolinas.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I was old enough to pay my own way to Florida, I met my parents down there. But I think I'd already moved out here.
Yeah.
Throw, that's a good call, man.
I just never thought until Miles brought it up. Like, I knew that was kind of the rule, but you go, ha ha. And then when you actually think about it, like, no, they were dead serious. I never, not one time, other than being 2 years old, and I'll remember that because my mom said I looked out the window and asked my mother why the clouds were upside down. And she thought that was cute. I was never on a plane with them.
Well, that's one thing about you try to do things differently as you are a parent. There were things that bothered you.
I have flown everywhere.
So that's why I wanted them to see more places than just were drivable areas, and I wanted them to experience air travel and understand how that worked.
Me too. But when I look at the cost, I'm like, I get where my parents were coming from.
Then when my kids were 10 or 12, they'd roll in. They got neck pillows on. They got their headphones. They got their Kindle or whatever they're doing. Their books or crap. Like they're like little professional travelers.
They are.
They were pre-TSA and the whole deal.
Before I was, that's for sure.
What is the farthest you've ever traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
I was really racking my brain now. I don't think I've ever been on a plane with my mother.
I never have. I can tell you for a fact.
Yeah, no,
my
I have not,
stepfather, my dad, my mom. I've never been on a plane with any of my family members except for my own immediate family.
Even my parents met me in Mexico once, right, like 10 years ago, Christmas. Kids were little. They meet us down there. I wasn't on a flight with them there either. So we have all flown to a place where we met up, but I've never been on a plane with them.
Same. And I think that by the time we all flew to Disney World and all met up there, I already lived out here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Damn, man. Parents doing me dirty. Hello, N. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So back in 2016, I was going to visit my aunt in Ohio, and I hopped a train from Seattle to Cleveland.
How long is that train ride?
48 hours from Seattle to Chicago, and then 7 hours from Chicago to Cleveland.
Were you on a sleeper car?
No, I went all the way in coach.
But at least on the train. The one thing I'll say about the train, and all I've done is from here to Portland a couple times, but just the fact that you can get up and stretch your legs, and they have the bar car, all that stuff, it makes a huge, huge
I'll tell you, one of the things that I've read about that train ride, and I don't know if this still holds true, but if you are going east, if you're taking that train to Chicago, from Seattle, it's an overnight train.
Sure.
So I think you leave at 10 or 11 o'clock. So you kind of miss a lot of the really cool views going through Washington State and then into Idaho and into Montana. Like you wake up and you're basically at what's the ski resort that's right there on the western side of Montana?
Jackson Hole?
Whitefish, Montana. I think you wake up in Whitefish. And then you get to see the views.
Yeah, but look, man, as someone who just had to travel with my parents all the time in the car, you are not wrong. But what I will say is this, all right? So some of the most beautiful scenery that I saw outside of the vehicle, when we got to like Utah, Arizona, right, just the deserts, the mesas, it's unreal. But within 20 minutes, you're over, right? I mean, man, this is gorgeous. Well, 20 minutes later, you're like, are we there yet?
Right.
Like, I get that it's beautiful. I'm sick of looking.
Well,
man.
the 3-hour train ride to
Vancouver,
Vancouver, Canada is great.
I believe that.
And the train ride down to Portland's not bad. It's not nearly as scenic, but it's a fun ride.
Okay, but the train ride to Portland, I couldn't.
It's kind of like a flight to Vegas.
A thing out of the window. Dude, we were in a bar car and we drank them out of their booze. I mean, like, we could have gone by the most beautiful scenery ever. I wouldn't know. It could be
that train ride's fine. I've done it like 10 times.
Yeah.
Not every time was a party. I took my mom on that one.
Is it a good view, though, I'm saying?
It's okay.
I mean, it's just you're right next to water the whole time. Then you cross over. It's just quicker, and I've also made that drive so many times. I hate sitting in traffic.
Yes.
But like this summer, right, I didn't want to deal with putting my mom on a plane, so we took the Amtrak from Baltimore up to Boston, and that was awesome. You're just along the coast the whole time.
Oh, no kidding.
You go around New York City. Like it was really cool.
It's always suspect on the East Coast because either it's going to be beautiful and cool, or I know some of the train tracks just in Baltimore, you're seeing the ugliest that Baltimore is to offer.
Well,
man.
yeah, getting through D.C., Baltimore, and Philly sucked.
Yeah.
After that, it was very nice.
Okay.
Let me addend
Then I am correct. Because in my mind, I'm like, bro, I know where those tracks run.
You're right. And it's just like there was one part. I even told my mom, like, remember that house you hated? It's over there.
My neighbor used to drive or conductor on the Excel Express. He was like, man, you should just jump on. I'll get you on. You can sit up in front with me. I never took him up on it.
Dude.
I know.
Come
I'm
on.
kicking myself.
Well, and look, one time, right?
You had to get on in D.C.
But still, you're the front car.
It's awesome. But my mom had already flown out here, and then she was like, I've never been to Portland. And it's over Thanksgiving. So I said, screw it. That Friday, we'll just hop on the train and go down there.
Yeah.
But coming back that Sunday night, the only train left was that Coast Starlight.
Is that the 2-level
double-decker, right?
Correct. It goes all the way down to California.
Okay.
So it costs more money. We just got like a normal little whatever. But it was awesome. We had a steak, a potato.
Get out of here.
They serve you real food.
Damn.
Yeah.
What is the farthest you have ever traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Lana. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Hola. Doing well.
And thank you every day for making us laugh and rocking us out in the city. That's quite an admirable trait you guys do every day.
Oh, thank you very much. Very kind.
That.
Okay,
I wish
so
my kids would say some crap like that.
They never will.
You know, it's weird, man.
Not until they have kids.
We went out to smoke a couple minutes ago. There's two guys. They're pretty hammered, but they're fans of the show. So, I mean, they're in a great mood. Hey, man, thank you. I get home. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm home. Silence.
They fist bumped us, Lamar. We're like, Lamar didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I know that.
I met a Ravens fan today down at King Street.
Yeah.
And he was like, why are you a Ravens fan? You know me. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. I just grew up with him. He's like, he was like, he likes the show, but he's like, my dad's a big fan. I don't listen. But I was like, well, the two guys I work with are a Ravens fan.
Thanks for nothing.
I was like, that's why they're not here.
So what's the longest you've traveled?
Maybe they'll show their appreciation when they're 40.
That's
okay, I actually have 4 stories, but
She's saying when they eulogize us, Miles. I've never told my dad this.
They're never going to appreciate that.
Now that he's dead, I appreciate him.
Right. So I have 4 stories, but I'm only going to tell one, and they're all due to the military, 3 of them with deployments. And this first one has to deal with the first Gulf War. At that time, I was in San Bernardino, having to fly to Saudi Arabia. So
how long does that take?
We'll get there. So, and having to go to Baltimore International, and with the layover for the first leg of the trip, probably took 12 hours between flying, and then had to stay the night in Baltimore. And, of course, you have to check out, and by the time you got into the airport, I know I had to wait 8 or 10 hours before I could check into the flight.
Jesus.
So you're waiting there, and, of course, all the other military people, and you've got a luggage cart with at least 7 pieces of luggage. You've got your 3 big military bags, your 2 check, an oversized carry-on, and, of course, everyone's carrying at least an M16. So we all kind of gather together, and one person or 2 stays there to watch the weapons while everyone goes out or gets changed. And then when you finally check into the flight, I want to say it was probably a 14 or 16-hour flight to get to Saudi Arabia. So from Southern California to Saudi Arabia in the first Gulf War, I traveled 2.5 days.
Jesus, man.
And also there's a time change. So as far as,
what was the time difference for you coming from California, get to Saudi Arabia?
I think, they're ahead, so a day ahead. And I've traveled back and forth between the States to Asia, and then, over to the Gulf War region, and I don't have an issue doing the time change going. It's always coming back that screws me up.
Yeah, I think it's 10 to 12 hours or somewhere in there, probably a little bit more.
I think that's about the worst amount because you're exactly upside down.
Our question today, what is the farthest you've traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
Just know what's coming. You can see the future. You can see it happening. And regardless, people just fire directly off into it without even considering anything whatsoever. So these are the times that we just hate being right. The things that we hate being right about. Number 10 on the list, they go with your own bad habits. Knowing exactly why you're failing at something. Procrastinating, not exercising, but you still do it anyway.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, those aren't the worst. That's why it's the bottom of the list. It's the vices that, there's a reason why we call them vices. It's because, we know we're not supposed to do it. Yeah, I know it's bad for me, but the good that I feel from it is worth the bad that I feel.
That's it.
So
sometimes you replace the mental health with the physical.
Right.
French fries.
And that's kind of why I'm in favor of having that month that you just take off of that, whatever vice it is.
Sure.
The big ones are always alcohol or smoking or whatever it is, but any vice, so that you have, take a month just to see what you feel like off of it. I get it. I know why you go back to it. Just
right. I secretly cut out French fries for January.
Did you really?
I didn't tell you about that.
How'd you do, buddy?
I did. I haven't had them.
Attaboy. Still.
Not this year.
If you're going to break the streak, what's the French fry you're going for?
I mean,
we got a lot of
just the calorie sick standpoint, probably Five Guys.
Okay.
I mean, if it's like you're talking chain stuff,
sure.
That is the best French fry, hands down.
It really is.
They're not healthy, but I mean, they're great.
Political societal decline. Predicting that a certain policy or social change will lead to negative long-term consequences. God, I hate being right.
Well, of course you do, because you don't have any control over someone putting out something stupid.
Exactly.
That's how it's going to be, and you're like, okay, well, I can do the math on this.
Right, you could just tell what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. It's not, none of it is complicated. It's just whether or not you put it into action.
Right.
Like, this is it. If you throw a ball up in the air, it's going to come down.
Right.
That's all. It might stay up there for a while. It's going to come down, guys.
But, hey, you're in charge, so that's what we're doing. So we're just throwing the ball up in the air.
Yep.
And you're going to be shocked when it comes back down.
They are.
Correct. Yeah.
They are.
I'm going to be sitting here having to catch the ball. That you should have trusted your gut. Again, these are 10 things that we hate being right about. Ignoring your intuition about a situation only for the outcome to be negative. But I knew that this was going to happen. I went against it anyway. And now I'm suffering for it.
Yeah, we've all been through that.
Yeah.
I knew better. I knew.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, whether it's something
I was
big,
horny.
serious, or
right, just like
yeah,
I knew it was going to happen.
My bad.
Damn. The tech and software updates will break things. Knowing that downloading the latest update immediately will cause bugs and ruin your workflow. The thing is that those updates work the best on the latest gear. They kind of stopped making all of that for whatever, system that you have. This guy,
exactly.
I got this thing, I can't remember exactly when I got it back, but I don't think I was living in Tacoma at the time when I got this phone. I'm terrified every time it updates now because it just gets a little bit slower.
I did it once by accident, because, however often it happens, and it's like, hey, do you want the update? I always say no. And only one time in the last 15 years did I F up and literally accidentally hit yes.
Right.
Right, and it ruined my experience. And I'm like, I don't want, and again, I'm just not a phone guy. I don't need your updates because I am a caveman on the phone. Right. Whatever, and it's great if you use all that stuff. I don't. I do not care. I have no interest. I don't need your update.
Have you ever considered going back to a dumb phone? Just going back to a flip or a brick?
Me individually?
Yes.
Yes. How do you think that goes over? How are we going to do this? I'm like, that's why I want the dumb phone.
Right. I don't want to have to do that.
I enjoyed the life of not doing all of this petty garbage to waste my time.
Right.
You know, and look, and again, that's me. But if you're into social media, if you take pictures, I get it. It's just not for me. That's all. Yeah.
Right.
I could easily survive with a dumb phone.
Right.
I could survive without a phone.
And I don't necessarily want a dumb phone. I just want a less smart phone. I don't need near as much stuff.
Like iPhones, man, sometimes they just update on their own.
Yeah.
That pisses
So there's nothing you can do, and then it looks completely different. And you're like,
yeah.
What? And then the last time I did it, it was like laggy.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It was really slow and weird. It's like, am I tripping? Like,
no, you should update your phone. It's a money grab, man.
That's right.
That's the long and short of it.
That friend was actually just using you. Realizing that somebody only reached out when they needed something. Again, 10 things that we hate being right about.
Sure.
That goes back to trusting your gut. Read the people that are around you.
You know.
Listen.
You do. I will say, and this has nothing to do with women, even guys sometimes can be very intoxicating. Well, I think it's easy to be like, I knew this wasn't going to work out.
Because she's hot, right? You're trying to get laid.
But
sure.
right, like we have somebody we'll joke about we used to work with, and I'm like, yeah, it took me a couple of years to realize it, but it's like now you look back at it. But like he was an intoxicating dude. Right. It was fun. You know, and then you're like,
knew what to say.
And then it's like, oh, we're paying for every tab.
Gotcha. A person's true colors, seeing through somebody's polite facade and knowing that they're manipulative only to be proven right after they betray somebody. There you go, Ted.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes you see somebody else in that situation. You know, you might have a friend that's in a relationship of some kind, and they are seeing stars for
But you cannot tell them.
No. And they're seeing those stars for a little too long. It's like, you shouldn't still feel this way at this point.
It's funny. You and I know a specific person, and we run in very different circles. And I was talking about this person to you, and I just said, man, they can be decent. That is definitely the facade they put forward. And it's just one of these people that, like, look, man, he smelled like S to me. I don't trust. He's never done anything wrong for me, but I just know no matter what this person says, I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah.
So when he is investigated by the FBI, I'm not sitting there in 60 minutes saying, I should have known.
Right.
Like, I don't want to know. And just me
I knew it the whole time.
The personality of this person, you're like, wait a minute, is their name blank? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
And again, there's zero reason we should both know this person.
Correct.
We just happen to. All I did was describe how they are.
I was wondering who you were talking about. Yep.
And you dropped the name, and I'm like, oh my God, how do you know them? And you're like, just kind of the same experience where it's like, hey, outside looking in, man, this is a fantastic individual, but you don't know anything about them, but something just every radar is going off. That says, man,
I had brought them up because of an earlier encounter with them.
Sure.
Mentioned them, and you were like, wait a minute, I know that guy. We kind of forgot about it as our conversations go, and then you brought them up another time, and I went, wait a minute, you're talking about this one.
Yeah. And I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's decent as far as I know.
Fantastic human. Nothing bad to say about them.
Wouldn't trust. They've never done anything for me to not trust them. But everything in me knows don't trust them.
There's a dark shadow over there somewhere.
I know, man. I was like, that's after. I even told my wife, I'm like, me and Mike both know blank. She's like, what? All I did was describe the personality.
Yep.
And he dropped the name.
That's right. That a project or a plan is going to fail. Warning somebody that their plan lacks foresight to just watch it implode exactly as it predicted.
Can't imagine.
These are 10 things that we hate being right about. That a popular trend or show is garbage. Being the only one who thinks that a universally loved TV show, movie, or trend is bad, only for everybody else to realize it later.
Well, I mean, but that's so subjective. You can say, like,
depends on what you like.
It's not going to age well. This is not what I like. But in a moment it's popular, just let it be.
Right, that's what that's what I come back to, and that's when I start using the term overrated very sparingly. I feel like that word got thrown around very easily a while back. I am very intentional with that word because I don't mean it to be insulting.
Yeah.
Things that are overrated are still good in my opinion, but they're overrated in that it's not as good as you're making it.
Sure.
You know, this is a 9 out of 10, but you're making it a 30. Like no. It's still a 9 out of 10. It's good, but it's not near as good as you're making it.
I mean, look, I like Stranger Things. A lot of people said it's overrated. I'm like, you're 100% correct, but I still like it.
Right.
I mean, that's all. You're right. It is absolutely overrated, but I enjoy the show.
Predicting a too good to be true scenario. Knowing a get-rich-quick scheme, a miracle product, or a too good to be true job opportunity is actually just a scam.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I've been getting those on my phone a handful of times.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, we got work. You work from home only like 2 hours a week, and we're going to pay $6,000. Like,
if that were true, everyone would have had taken the job.
Like, what?
That
idiot do you
job
take
would
me
not
for?
still be available if that were true.
I'm not going to text a random ass number that.
Right, well, and that's the other thing, right? It's that old saying, right? Nothing's free.
Yes.
And it's like the truth, right? Sometimes it's like, yeah, but now it's like you have some ownership over me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. I don't care that it's free. You know what I mean? It's not worth it.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Hopefully, here in about 8 minutes at 4 o'clock, we'll be able to get Jim Mueller on from the Seahawks sideline reporter and talk about the Super Bowl. Get a follow up there.
You think she'll be sober? I wouldn't be. Like, look, man, I covered them all week.
From what I could tell, I don't know if she's working.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I've been covering them all
playing.
week. My team won.
Yeah.
Today's the celebration. If I'm her, I am pissed drunk.
Just depends on if we can get the cell signal. Now, speaking of drinking, here's a story that you guys should appreciate. And it's almost coming to a head here. In November 1998, Carls Bushby, 29-year-old British ex-paratrooper, sent out on an extraordinary mission. Why did he go out on this extraordinary mission? Because he was in a bar with his buddies, and they made a bet. And he said, you know what? Game on. That bet? To walk around the world without using any motorized transport. Now, 27 years later. He made this bet in a bar when he was 29.
He's fulfilling a bet.
Yes.
Damn.
27 years later, the 56-year-old is on his final stretch, dealing with social media pressure in a vastly changed world since he started. He is about 1,000 miles from completing his epic journey.
This is when he gets hit by a bus.
Which has become one of the longest human treks ever attempted. He began his Goliath expedition in 1998, standing at the edge of Chile, and vowed to return home to England on foot.
Chile.
He has refused to take any form of mechanized transport and is now in the final stages of his journey, expected to reach his hometown of Hull, England, September 2026. He has traversed 25 countries, deserts, war zones, jungles, frozen seas, showcasing incredible endurance and willpower. And after 27 years, his journey has taken him across Patagonia, the Andes, Central America, Mexico, the United States, Russia, Mongolia, and parts of Asia. He was a paratrooper back in the day in the British Army. An experience, he said, sparked his love for travel and exploration. He said being in the Army and seeing amazing places inspired him to want to see more. So his 31,000-mile expedition, which he initially estimated would take around 8 to 12 years, has turned into a nearly 3-decade odyssey due to numerous geopolitical, financial, and logistical hurdles, including COVID and all kinds of other things. He began his walk in Chile, went through the Darien Gap, came across Panama.
Isn't that the most dangerous place in
Yes,
the
between
Western
Panama
Hemisphere?
and Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crossed that. His progress through Russia was repeatedly stalled by visa issues and a 5-year entry ban after he entered an unofficial border point. The tundra conditions meant he could only walk during late winter and early spring. In August 2024, to avoid entering Iran or Russia due to political risk, he swam across the Caspian Sea from Kazakhstan, a 180-mile crossing that took 31 days with support boats just for rest. So he'd sleep on it.
This is unbelievable.
He has since walked through Turkey, across the Bosphorus Strait into Europe, and as of late 2025, he was walking through Romania, less than 1,400 miles away from the UK. And his main role has remained unbroken. No mechanical transport to advance his journey, and no going home until he arrives on foot.
I wonder if he even remembers what he bet on.
I like a beer, I think it was. Our question, what is the farthest you've traveled or the longest you've had to wait? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Kenny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Hey, this happened, I believe, in the Squally Quake was 2001, if I'm correct.
I think so, yeah.
And so my wife and I live out here in the Gig Harbor area. In fact, we're further out on the Key Peninsula. We carpooled together. I would drop her off in Sumner, drive to Kent, work, go back, pick her up. We'd come home. Well, the day of the quake happened about 10:30 a.m. was the quake. My boss cut us loose from work at 11:30. what usually took 20 minutes, half hour on Fridays to pick her up, took me a half hour to go from Kent, or hour and a half to go from Kent to Sumner to pick her up. So I got there at 1 o'clock, and then to get home, this is back, we only had the one Narrows Bridge. We didn't have two.
Mm-hmm.
We left her work at 1 o'clock and didn't get home till 8:30 at night. 7.5 hours that usually took an hour and a half.
Now, is this because of all the traffic that's on the road? Is it because the roads are messed up? Is it because trees are laying across the road, or all of the above?
All the above, and the mechanical dudes had to come out and check the bridge, which took 2 or 3 hours. Which stopped everything.
You know what? I'm okay to wait for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember we were flying, I can't remember if I'm flying out of Philly or if we were trying to fly into Philly. Either way, it's around Christmas time. Everybody's haggard. Everyone's tired. We understand. We had boarded the plane. We started taxiing, but then they stopped. Oh, we were flying to Philly. So everyone on the plane's pissed off, and we're not getting an explanation. Then about 10 minutes later, the pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, apparently the radar had gone down.
Wow.
But there was still one woman bitching. And I'm like, lady, if ever there's a good reason to wait, and I'm an impatient person, I'm like, I will wait as long as it takes for them to fix the radar, dumbass. I'm like, chill out.
Super important.
Yes.
On the reverse side of that, as far as getting someplace quickly, I have never seen, and I will never forget it. September 11th, when everything went down, I was on the air. Get off the air at 10 o'clock. My wife at the time worked in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
She was not too far away from the Pentagon, all right? The Pentagon got hit, and then there was still that other plane, all right, that was up. And I'm not sure if we got notification yet that it had been, it had accidentally crashed in Pennsylvania.
The passengers had taken
quote,
it. Yeah.
unquote, they went up and stormed the cockpit and all that. But man, when you got on the Beltway, it was one of the most crazy experiences of my life. And I had the Geo Metro, little 4-cylinder, but that thing could go, it pretty well hummed. I was going 105 miles an hour on the Beltway, 110 miles an hour. It was like NASCAR.
Yeah.
People were flying home because they were just trying to make sure that everybody was okay in the area. And I mean, cop cars are zooming past me. All of these Fed cars that are like black and unmarked.
Yeah.
And diplomat plates. There are jets flying overhead. I mean, it was almost like you were in the start. You're in the start of a war.
We were.
But just the lawlessness on the road. I think that drive home normally took me about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. I get home in about 30 minutes. I mean, I was nobody on the road was driving any less than 95.
No.
Now, normally they'll drive 80. So keep in mind that's not.
And you're right. It's very fast
This is 15 miles more than normal, but or 20. But I mean, it was insane. It was like you're in a NASCAR race, and everyone was panicking and looking at each other, and it was
Because there were no answers.
Yeah,
You had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, it was nuts. Do we have Jen on the phone yet? No,
we don't. But we do have Curtis.
All right, Curtis.
Hello,
What's up,
Curtis. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hola.
Hola. So the furthest I had to travel, I actually just got back on Monday, was over to Kenya, Malindi, to go visit my brother, and I sent you guys some pictures on the text. Turned the Maasai warriors into 12s, got them holding the 12s flag. We went to their village, went scuba diving, took the 12s flag underwater with me, pinned it down with some rocks, had my GoPro and got some selfies doing that. Then ended up in Paris on the return. So watched the Super Bowl live in Paris. Started about 12:30 in the morning. But the furthest distance traveled during that trip has to go to the way I had to watch the NFC Championship game, because even though I took my Fire Stick in Kenya, it wouldn't allow me to view the content there. So I had to call my daughter, FaceTime my daughter, who goes to school in Australia. Her boyfriend put it on his phone. She set her phone up so I could see his phone. So I FaceTime called to watch a game in Seattle, in Kenya, through Brisbane, Australia. So if girls don't travel, I don't know who does. Let's
Yeah,
put it
man.
that way.
That's awesome.
Damn, man.
That is kind of crazy.
That is cool, though.
Yeah.
I like the dedication.
Jeez, it whiz.
Wow. To watch the feed of a phone through